It's an early season Southern Conference matchup as the Eastern Florida State College baseball team takes the field against Palm Beach State College. Live from beautiful Bruce Bochy Field on the Melbourne campus, it's time for some baseball action as the Titans and the Panthers come to you. That's coming up next. Hey, baseball fans, welcome to America's pastime. It is a beautiful evening right here, beautiful Bruce Bochy Field on the site and the campus of Eastern Florida State College. My name is Eric Kohler, and I'm joined alongside Jim Tarabokia. And I tell you what, Jim, what a great action right here to start conference action with these two ball clubs that are very evenly matched.
Well, we've got two ball clubs today who combined have outscored their opponents 272 to 111. Good offenses, but good starting pitchers on the mound today.
And I'll tell you, Titans are trying to go to 2-0 in conference play. Let's talk about on the mound. Number 16, he's pretty special for the visiting Panthers.
Yeah, Gio Arriera is a guy who has a low 90s fastball. He's got very good stuff. His fastball has late life to it. All of his pitches have movement. If he can continue to stay in the strike zone and hit the corners, hit his spots, he's going to have a lot of success today.
Let's check the other side of the mound. The hometown Titans. What about number 21?
Yeah, Chandler Benton is a guy, as his head coach, Jeff Tam, said before the game, he's tough out there, and if he mentally stays composed, he's going to have a lot of success.
I'll tell you, Chandler Benton, I'll tell you, he's going for the Titans. Now, check this out. Palm Beach State, you're really high on the top of that leadoff, number 2, Matt Morales. Talk about Morales.
I think it's a great idea to put Morales in the leadoff spot for the fact that he's been around college baseball. He knows what his job is in that spot in the order. Expect him to get on base today and expect him to run.
We're just moments away from first pitch action. Good shot there, Matt Morales. Actually, Balin Sparks actually had been the leadoff hitter for the past several games, but as Jim alluded to, a good move is college baseball. We'll talk about that later in the broadcast. Really kind of different. You just want to play some small ball and score a lot of runs.
Exactly, and with Balin Sparks on deck, a guy who can hit the ball to all fields, if Morales can get on here, there's a good chance he's going to score.
Well, welcome aboard. First pitch, 6:02 p.m. WEFS-TV. On behalf of our entire TV crew, welcome aboard. Eric and Jim with you. This is just a beautiful facility. This is the first time you've been here, and you just really enjoyed the look of this ball field.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the outfield from right center in that alleyway to the left center field alleyway. It is huge.
Big space right here. Just underway, 0-2 count here. Good start for Chandler Benton.
And you know, one thing too, Eric, talking about the outfield and with how it's positioned in terms of the depth in right center and left center field, if Matt Morales is able to go the other way, they're playing straight away on Matt Morales. If he's able to go the other way to that left center field gap, he's going to be standing on second and possibly thinking about 3 because it is so wide out there.
Morales right here, little ball. Oh, goes up the middle, and Morales will get on. A good hustle play, just kind of hits it right there in the middle. Let's check out defensively for Eastern Florida State College. Now, you're high on that hot corner there at third base. Talk about number 14.
Yeah, he's got a strong arm over there. He's a guy who can go to his left, field the baseball to his left, to his right, and throw it over to first accurately.
All right, so runner at first base. That brings up Balin Sparks. Sophomore outfielder, comes in 378 batting average. And a good opportunity for the visiting Panthers to strike first here. Pitch from Benton. And a great movement right there. You like that throw in.
That right there, that 12-6 curveball, that's going to be his bread and butter here today because, again, you can time the fastball if you're a hitter, but when you have a good curveball like that, and if you're confident enough to throw it on a first pitch of the at-bat, you're going to have a lot of success, and you can play off that fastball even more.
0-1 count, low and away, 0-2.
Yeah, Eric, you know, a good job right here by the Titans defense, too, scouting Balin Sparks. They're playing him slightly over towards right center field, and he's a guy who will go gap to gap, but he's got a little bit more of an inside-out swing, so it's easier for him to go the other way, and the Titans defense knows that.
So it's actually a 1-1 count. Benton checks the runner at first. And just a great evening here. Slight breeze here. Sun's starting to set here in about an hour. This is the first telecast live for WEFS-TV for Coach Tam's baseball squad. Off to a great start on a 5-game winning streak. And they're 12-4 and had a nice win to start their conference play, 1-0 against Indian River. Pitch low and away. And Jim, right here, how much attention are you going to give to Morales at first base?
I'm going to continue to give him a lot of attention. He's not taking a big lead over there just yet, but he's a guy who doesn't really need to take that big of a lead, if that makes sense, because he's got blazing speed and he's got good base running awareness.
Good shot there by our camera crew to kind of frame it out there, all the actors involved there.
And you see here Morales right now, he is taking a little bit more, inching off the bag, a little bit more of a lead. He continues to inch off some more, seeing how much he can actually take.
It's a ground ball. Good play here, possible 6-4-3. And just in and out of the hands. That would have been a great double play there. He's safe at first base.
And there's that speed of Balin Sparks as well. Good job by Morales. A good clean takeout slide at second base, causing that throw from Navarro to be, rather, Corneal to be a little bit low. But at the same time, a good job by Morales to kind of get his spikes in there towards his legs and kind of scare Corneal a little bit.
So that brings up James Buckley, one away here, just undergoing here, top of the first. Good look at the Panthers right there, Mr. Buckley. Left fielder for Palm Beach State. Head coach for Palm Beach State is Kyle Forbes, enters his 7th season. Began his coaching career at Florida Atlantic University as an assistant coach under legendary skipper Kevin Cooney. One 0 count the pitch. Blown away 2-0. So Jim, right here we got one out here. How do you set this up to get that double play ball back on the action?
Well, I think right now, if you are behind the plate, I think you're calling for a low fastball. Because, you know, one thing I'm noticing with Benton, he's got sort of a heavy fastball, and that causes a lot of ground balls.
Kind of a late throw out, and runner is safe at second.
Well, the double clutch, and also Sparks with great speed. He got a great jump, and he was able to take that bag easily. You know, we've seen 2 ground balls so far, Eric, and that's my point. It's with his fastball of Benton. It is very heavy. And with that heavy fastball, you're going to get a lot of those top spin hopping ground balls, which make for good double plays when there's a runner, say, at first base or whatnot.
7th stolen base for Balin Sparks. Runner in scoring position for the Panthers. 1 down here, top of the first. Great to have you here. Just absolutely beautiful Chamber of Commerce weather here at Bruce Bochy Field. Jim, you made that comment of the fact you play a lot of baseball and call a lot of baseball currently, that you just love the look of this facility.
Yeah, it is really one of the best facilities throughout college baseball, I think, in Florida that we've seen.
And to have a name like Bruce Bochy is pretty special.
Yeah.
And that'll be a walk on balls there. First and second here, Chandler Benton. A little bit of trouble here with 1 away here, top of the first. And that brings up the second baseman. Longtime PA address announcer, Michael Parsons. Doing a nice job here. That's a good look at number 12, Swinley Lint. Freshman infielder, 255 batting average, 51 plate appearances. What are we looking for here, Jim?
Well, you know, with Swinley Lint, here's a guy who has a little bit of a hunched over stance.
Yeah.
But he's got kind of a swing where he tries to tomahawk the baseball.
It's good.
So I think with that, go with maybe an off-speed pitch, a curveball, that 12-6 curveball, or maybe a changeup low and away, and try to get him to flail. Because when guys are hunched over like that, they try to go for that higher pitch for whatever reason. It sounds like an oxymoron, it is, but they like to go for that higher pitch. Taking Evan Gaddis, for example, at the major league level, I think you throw him down and away and try to get him to roll over.
Gaddis, I've called a few games, know exactly the style right there. And that's a hit batsman right there. And just like that, Chandler Benton ducks on the pond for the Panthers. Bases loaded with just 1 out.
Do you see Chandler Benton's his body language out there on the mound right now? It's not very good. After he hit Swinley Lint, he kind of looked down at the ground, at the grass, and kind of shook his head a little bit. That's what we talked about in the open. He has to stay composed. That's when he has his most success. When he gets inside of his own head, he has a lot of trouble getting out of jams.
Well, especially just to get that momentum just coming out of the first inning here. Bases loaded. Big jam here. Can Benton get out of here? Ball low and away, 1-0, and this is number 7, third baseman Evan Morick. More comes in this game. 37 plate appearances, a .351 batting average. This would be a great opportunity to Benton somehow force that double play. Doesn't get the call. 2-0.
And you know this too, when you're not throwing strikes, an umpire's not going to give you those close calls. That was a close pitch. Close enough to certainly be called a strike, but he hasn't thrown enough here in the first inning.
Important pitch right here. And that's between first and second. That's going to score a run, possibly two. Play at the plate, and got him. So the run scores. Let's take a look at this. That was a bang-bang play.
Yeah, that's a heck of a throw from Duran out there and right. That's right on target. You never want the throw to be too high. You want it to be nice and low so it can hit the grass, skip up with that top spin right into the catcher's mitt, and the tag was applied perfectly. That's a good piece of hitting right there, though, by Morg. He's a guy right there, took the pitch on the outer half and just went with it. He didn't over-rotate with his hips, didn't over-rotate with the shoulders, used his legs, and just stuck the bat head out there and pushed it the other way right through the hole.
Comes Ricky Gonzalez for the Panthers, but smart play defensively by first baseman for the Titans, Dylan Owens, to allow the throw to come through at home. Took a nice skip off the turf.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And with that, as a first baseman, you've got to know and you have to see and read it in the air at that split second. Hey, can I let this thing go through, or should I catch it and keep the runner at first base instead of possibly the runner taking second when the throw comes through?
That'd be real important here to kind of keep them just a 1. 2 outs. Thanks for joining us. Palm Beach State in town against our Eastern Florida State College Titans. This is a conference game. Look at the Panthers right there. That's Ricky Gonzalez, a designated hitter for the visiting Panthers. Runners at the corner, first and third. Nice pitch right there. That's what Benton needs right there. Got to get some confidence. Be good to get out of this jam just giving up 1 run. These are evenly matched teams. So right now, kind of minimize the damage here. Get to the bats to the Titans. Even count, 1-1, 2 outs, and another move to first base to no avail. 5-game winning streak for Coach Tam's Titans. Playing some good baseball, 12-4 on the year. Be a good time to get hot here as they start conference play. Another check at first base. What do you think about that? Sometimes you're not throwing real well. Don't you need to focus on the plate here?
I think Chandler needs to focus on the hitter.
Yeah.
I really don't believe that he should be throwing over to first. Don't worry about the guy at third. Don't give me a first and third move. Again, get out of your own head. Just focus on the batter because, again, you're not getting the close calls from the home plate umpire because you're not throwing enough strikes.
Well, plus you get off your rhythm. Here we go. Big wrap right there to the gap you talked about in our open. That's a big hit right there. That's going to be a double for Gonzalez. Are they going to send the runner? They're going to. And that's going to be the second and third run for Palm Beach State just like that. 3-0 Panthers.
How about that piece of hitting right there?
Wow.
Pitch on the inner half, a fastball. He's got good quick hands. He turns on it and goes right into the left center field gap, sending it on a line. No chance for either outfielder McFadden or Rivera in left and center respectively to catch that fly ball.
Yeah,
but
Jim, like you said, great piece of hitting.
right now with Benton, that's a pitch at the belt, inner half of the plate. Guys salivate with that. And they want that kind of pitch in that kind of count. And right there, he got it and was able to rip it into left center.
Next up for Palm Beach State, 7th batter at the plate this inning, top of the first, high and away. Ball 1. That's Joey Donju, number 5, center fielder. But again, it's very important for Chandler Benton to get out of this inning, not to blow your pitch count in the first inning. But again, I think that focus on first base really took away his energy at home. And bam, what a great play by Acevedo. Wow. Hot corner pocket, third base, gets him out of a jam. But the Panthers strike first, 3-0. Just underway here in the first inning. Jim, I tell you, that was a great defensive play. I'd love to get another look at that. Ian Acevedo, he's been on Inside Titan Sports, and we talked about that hot shot corner. There's some shots coming to you, and that could have gone down the gap right there. Let's take a look at this play right here earlier.
Well, you see that throw? You see how it skipped up to the catcher? It had that backspin where it was able to skip up like that to the catcher right to his chest, and he was able to apply the tag.
Look at this shot right here.
You know, with one thing with Ryan Gonzalez, look where the catcher is set up.
Yeah.
On the outer half of the plate. Look where the pitch is. It's left up and over the inner third, and he's able to smack it right into the gap. That's a good piece of hitting right there. Exactly fundamentally what you're supposed to do. He waited on that curveball. He got to his 50-50 weight position as a hitter, and his bat head got right to the zone as quick as possible with that curveball that was left up.
3-run score, but here we go. Eastern Florida State College. Now it's up to them to answer. They like to score just over 9 runs a game. Talk about number 14 at the plate.
Yeah, and with Acevedo, great swing. He's another guy. He has good size, and looks like a power hitter, but he's actually more of a gap-to-gap hitter. So he's a tough guy to pitch to. And again, a typical number 2 hitter at the college level. He can hit gap-to-gap, and he can hit for some power as well.
Also look for number 10, Jacob McFadden. Has had a great season so far, but they have their work cut out. Give up 3 runs here. Let's check out Palm Beach State defensively. You can see right there, Jair Ariara, pitcher number 16, back behind the dish is number 4. And Balin Sparks, number 11. He's got some work right there to see what he can do there. And then Evan Morick. What do you talk about that corner on number 7, Evan Morick?
Yeah, Evan Morick. Watch for him to play usually deep. He likes to play deep, and he likes to be able to collect in the ground ball and show off that arm strength. But you look at all 3 outfielders as well, Eric. They all have speed, and they all have very good arms. They're very complete players out there, at least defensively in the outfield.
Now, Jim, how is this now? A good look there, Ariara, number 16. Now he's playing with house money. He's going into the game, hasn't thrown his first pitch. He's already got a 3-run lead. How does that boost your confidence?
Oh, well, it's a weight off your shoulder. And I think, but as a pitcher, to me, if I'm a starting pitcher, quite frankly, the first couple of innings, I'm not worried about the score. I'm just worried about throwing strikes.
Yeah.
I'm worried about not getting too tired, not overdoing it, hitting my spots. Because if you're not hitting your spots, you're going to hear from the pitching coach in either dugout saying, hit your spots, hit your spots. So, to me, the score, yes, it's nice, and it's a nice caveat to have. But I think you kind of erase that out of your mind, and you just worry about hitting your spots and throwing strikes, because this, again, is a very good lineup.
Well, here we go. Great opportunity. Bottom of the first. Leading off is number 24, Sebastian Rivera, I should say. Sophomore outfielder out of Orlando, Florida. Plays center field defensively tonight. Good look at Sebastian right there. Again, a lot of room at this ballpark, and it's dropped. Wow, maybe the sun got you right there. You got to make that play. That's a bang-bang play. A lot of foul balls are in play with all the acreage you have here.
A lot of room, Eric. You're exactly right. And, you know, when you're running like that as a shortstop and you're on that angle, your head is bobbing up and down, bobbing up and down. There's one thing I saw in spring training with shortstops and what they do. There are actually drills for that where coaches will hit pop fouls in foul territory like that. And what happens is these shortstops are almost tiptoeing, so their head is not bobbing up and down, because when that is happening, the baseball is going all over the place.
Right.
And with that, that's why he wasn't able to make that play.
Good play defensively on the corner there is number 1. That's Derek Schwimmer. That'll be out number 1 for the Titans. And this is the young man that plays a great third base, but he is explosive at the plate. You're really high on number 14. Talk about Ian.
Yeah, well, look at his size, Eric. I mean, he looks like a ball player. And not that anybody, now no disrespect to anybody else, but he's a guy who has that presence up there that says, I better make my pitch here, or else he's going to tattoo it.
Look at a big swing right there. Young man out of Dominican Republic. Out number 2.
I mean, look at him. He's got the elbow guard.
Yeah.
You see that? He's got the lime green sleeve on. He doesn't care about the fashion statement. He's got the shin guard on as well. He looks like a professional hitter. He's got that good leg kick, and he's got that good drive with the backside.
That brings up another explosive hitter in the 3-hole, number 10, Jacob McFadden. Jacob and Ian both made their appearance on Inside Titan Sports. And I'll tell you what, they have a strong and bright future in baseball.
Yeah, you look at the body type too, Eric, of Aria, and he's got the body type of the late great Jose Fernandez.
Wow, that's a great compliment.
And he kind of has the same windup as well when you look at his leg kick and his leg drive as well. Watch his arm action here too on this next pitch. You see that arm action?
Yeah, that really did. It drops down. It's got some action on it.
Yeah, and he's got a good quick arm. It's like a quick bat when you're a hitter. When you have a good quick arm, you're going to have good quick velocity, and you're going to have giddy up and movement to that fastball.
2 outs, bottom of the first. Titans trail 3-0. And wow, look at the movement on that pitch. 3 up, 3 down. The Titans go down in order. And 3-0 your score. We played one. You continue watching action right here at WEFS-TV. And right there, great start for Palm Beach State, not so much for the hometown Titans.
Well, I think now with the Titans, and in particular Chandler Benton, Eric, I think he really needs to settle down, just put that first inning out of his mind, because if he lets it compound to the next inning, he's going to be out of here very shortly, and he's going to be in the clubhouse taking a shower. You know, the one thing with college baseball that's different from pro ball is that between innings it's very quick, and just the game overall is quicker.
Right.
And whatever the case may be, why it's quicker, I'm not sure why. I have a couple of theories, but to a player's psyche like that, when you do struggle or you're 0 for 1, 0 for 2, or have a couple of bad at-bats or have a bad inning out there on the mound, you need to quickly put it out of your head as quick as possible, because if you don't, it's going to be a short day for you, and you're going to find yourself on the bench.
Yeah, that's a lot of sports right there. You hit a great point there. Psychologically in sports is that you can't dwell on something you can't control. If it's gone, it's in your rearview mirror, you got to let that go, because if not, it lingers, and that's a good way to get the quick hook and get out of the game.
Yeah, and you look at, you know, the big leagues. You know, that's a show. Here in college baseball, it's not a show. These kids are student athletes,
right,
and they are amateur baseball players. Some of them have the talent to go on to the next level, but they're amateur baseball players. So there is no time to dilly-dally. You have to, like you said, have that quick forgetfulness, if you will, and move on to the next phase of the game.
Top of the second. Leading things off will be sophomore behind the dish. That's their catcher, Drexler McKaya. This will be his 30th plate appearance. And again, just a beautiful day. Thanks for dialing us in. We're actually going to have some other games that are going to be televised, so keep that in mind. We're going to have a quick turn time. We're going to have another game televised coming up this Thursday. As continued action here, this will be another conference game as your Titans will play host to Broward College. That first pitch will be set for 6 p.m. So just like that, baseball is upon us. What a great time of the year. Big hit there. That'll go left and go into foul. But I tell you, as you talked about those winds earlier, as they're swirling around, if you get around on one, you're going to knock one out of the park here.
You know, when you look at McKay, right there, a perfect example, very quick hands.
Yeah.
If I'm Chandler Benton here, you got to go away to this guy, because if he does go away, they may have a chance to get this guy to roll over. See right there, he goes in, he got a good swing on it, just got under.
Acevedo at the corner will make the out. That'll be out number 1, top of the second. But good call there. Again, it's just one of those things that Benton got a little bit of trouble focusing too much on the runner on first base, and it bit him twice.
Yeah, exactly right. And you really, like I said, you need, when you're struggling, just focus on the hitter.
Yeah.
Look here at this foul ball moments ago. Look how quick his bat is. You see how quick that bat is and how quick his hands are? When you have good bat quickness, because there's a difference, Eric, in bat quickness and bat speed. When you have bat quickness, that means you're getting to the point of contact from the cock loading position. That's exactly where that was with McKay right there. That's why you need to go away with him in the next at bat.
Good piece of hitting there, right fielder. In the 9-hole, Derek Schwimmer singles out there in right field, gets on base with 1 away here, top of the second. And right just like that, top of the order for Palm Beach State, second plate appearance from Matt Morales. This is an opportunity to watch out and try to maybe have a cleaner inning, but just like that, Derek Schwimmer gets on board.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eric. That right there, that hit, that's already the 4th hit off of Benton. And like you said, he needs to focus completely on the hitter here in Matt Morales. You see where that pitch was, Eric, too? There was a changeup that was left up on the inner half of the plate, and the 9th place hitter, Schwimmer, not the top of the order, but the 9th place hitter, Schwimmer, was able to get the bat hit to the ball easily. When you leave your changeup up like that, you're not going to have much success, and that was the problem right there with Benton.
There it is right there. Gets a clean handle. Again, they just cannot turn that double play, but they get the force out at second base. Both of them getting it clean out of the glove, but nevertheless 2 outs in the top of the second.
Well, Morales is a tough guy to double up.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of speed coming out of that left-handed batter's box. I don't think they were going to get him either way. Plus, you saw with Benton right there, he double-clutched just a little bit. But again, now with Morales on, a little bit of a conundrum here for Benton because he has to focus on the hitter, but Morales will take off and run. He will, like I said, when he was on base last time, he'll inch off, see how much he can take, and then boom, like that, he'll take off.
And just like you said, to your point, great shot, great piece of little hit and run. And Morales gets to third base. That is good fundamental baseball right there.
Well, again, Morales, too, because he has so much speed, he's not afraid to take that extra base. Now, what helped him right there is that with Acevedo, he dove to his left, but it deflected off his glove. So it slowed down what would have been a pretty hard roller out to left. So with that slowdown out on the grass, the left fielder McFadden had to come in, pick it up. Morales, recognizing that, went around second and said, you know what, I'm going to take third here.
So runners at the corner, first and third. That ball will be fouled away down the third base side. 2 outs here. If you're just joining us, Palm Beach State got 3 runs in the top of the first, and the Titans went down an order in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, first and third. Eric Kohler, Jim Tarabokia. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful evening to kick off the America's pastime. American baseball, nothing better. Low and away. Next batter, that's James Buckley. He walked his first plate appearance. Left fielder number 3. Again, Kyle Forbes, head coach, Palm Beach State, has created a strong program just as Coach Tam has for the Titans. This is the first of 7 times these teams will play each other. They played each other 7 times last year, so they're very, very familiar with each other.
And you know, Kyle Forbes, he comes from Florida Atlantic University, as you mentioned, so he knows his way around. He knows how to run a college baseball program the right way.
So here we go. Ball's fouled out of base, first baseline.
And oh, by the way, he was also a scout at the major league level. I think with college baseball, the one thing I'm noticing nowadays is that whether it be junior college, Division I, II, III, there are a lot more guys from pro ball with, for example, Kyle Forbes, who are starting to get into college baseball, and some are changing the landscape of college baseball and the way the game is actually played.
Well, I think it's a good point, too, is that ball's fouled away. It's a great opportunity for Benton to get out of this inning. But when you have the eyes and you go through the Major League Baseball system, whether it's a scout or a former player, you have so much perspective to come back at this level to really make changes and see things these kids can't see.
And I think you also get a chance to see who you want to recruit and what you want in a player.
There he goes. Finally gets a strikeout. Leaves runners on first and third. No runs, no further damage. And that'll get us to the bottom of the second. Again, that was a good strikeout needed there for Chandler Benton. Let's take a look there. Look at those Sandhill Cranes here. That's a little flyover. They missed the anthem, but nevertheless, hopefully they don't invoice us.
See where that changeup was? It was left up at the belt, and it was smacked into right center field. Good piece of hitting.
Beautiful hit there. But beautiful job by Chandler Benton, though, to get out of that inning with no outs. Leaves runners at first and third. Great look there. Beautiful colors of the American flag. And again, the way this facility is set up is awesome. It's on a little waterway, and check this out. Let's look at another spot right here.
Yeah, see how it tipped off his glove right there? That gave an opportunity for Morales to get to first base safely. They wouldn't have had him, as you see right there, even with the deflection off the glove. They wouldn't have had him because it actually deflected off the glove of Benton first. He had to pick it up, and that split second gave Morales the opportunity to make first base.
Yeah, and Navarro could not make the clean throw to first base. That was their second opportunity trying to get a double play, but nevertheless, no damage done. We stay at 3-0 in favor of the Panthers of Palm Beach State. So looking forward for your Titans, they're in a 5-game homestand, and they're going to start for the next 5 against conference opponents. And again, our next telecast is this Thursday at 6 o'clock. So great opportunity to get some exposure to the program.
And this is the time of year, as a college baseball player, you look forward to. Everybody looks forward to the season starting. But when you're in that non-conference schedule and you look ahead, and you should take one game at a time, as you see head coach Jeff Tam right there, but when you look ahead to the conference schedule, that's when you really get excited. A lot of players, if they're not starting game one of the non-conference schedule, they look ahead to getting a chance to prove themselves during that non-conference schedule in the games to come. And when the non-conference games, or excuse me, the conference games come around, that's when you really want to be out there in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's when you get in time to kind of almost like your preseason, like spring training that a lot of the teams in the Grapefruit League are now underway.
Somewhat, yeah. And at the same time, you want to win those games, but you circle the non-conference schedule on your calendar.
And that's what advances you in the postseason. Sammy Duran will lead off the bottom of the second for your Titans. He's in the cleanup spot. That's number 11, right fielder. Sammy's had a great run with the Titans. Comes in this game with .356 batting average. And this will be his 74th plate appearance, Sammy Duran. 1-2 the count. See if Sammy here, I think it'd be important right here, Jim, to get some runners on base to start an inning.
You look at that fastball right there from Arya. You see how it rode up in the zone like that?
Yeah.
It had that late life to it. That's exactly what you want. And it's because he's got that great leg drive and that great arm action as well. He gets great torque in his windup. That's why you get that good arm action. And the same thing in hitting, why you have good back quickness. A hitter has good torque.
Sammy Duran goes down and strikes. And again, just need to get somebody on base right here just to get some action. It's a good look at Ian Lyle coming up here. It's a young man. It's had some good success. Sophomore out of Dunedin, Florida. You're Dunedin, Florida. That's where you call some games for the Blue Jays over there on the other coast.
My somewhat stomping ground. Somewhat.
Somewhat. Ian Lyle gets a start tonight at the DH spot. See if Ian can get something going right here. But you know, when you talk about that for Ariara, you know, that drive kick and that torque, he creates that extra speed with the late speed in his pitch, and that makes him a very dangerous pitcher. And especially you give him a lead so early in the game. This is a tough guy to face right now. Ian's got to break the code.
See where that pitch was? It was over the inner third of the plate, an inside-out swing. That's because that fastball, as I said, had that late life to it. Good velocity so far here in the early going by Arya.
Ian Lyle comes to the game, .278 batting average. This is 37th plate appearance, has 10 hits on the year. He has 11 RBIs, so got to get this young man on the bases. There's a good piece of hitting right there. Off-field base hit, first base hit of the evening for the Titans. Ian Lyle answers the call.
It was a pitch that was low and a little bit inside. Good hitters, no matter what level, adjust to the pitcher. It was a fastball. But don't try to do too much with that fastball, because when it has that late life to it, it becomes a little bit heavy, especially down in the zone. And Lyle just slapped it the other way right through the hole. Good piece of hitting by Ian.
Brings up Dylan Owens, number 17. Freshman at a local hometown, Melbourne, Florida. Young man has a bright future here. Plays first base defensively as he takes a straight strike. 0-1 the count, one out here, bottom of the second.
With as relaxed out there as Arya is on the mound, Dylan Owens is just as relaxed at the plate.
Talk about size. Owens has got some good size at the plate there for the Titans. That could be a double up, and it is. That's a 4-6-3 double play. Again, nothing doing for the Titans. Your score remains 3-0 in favor of the visiting Panthers as we enter the top of the third. Again, it looked like Owens actually had a little spot right there, but the second baseman was there to gobble it up. Turns two. They're out of the inning.
And he hit it hard, but there's nothing you can do when you hit it right at a fielder like that. That pitcher's on the outer half, a breaking ball. He waited well, and he smacked it the other way. Got good barrel on it, but again, that's something to build on if you're Dylan Owens for your next at-bat. Knowing that you hit the ball hard the last time up, continue with that approach. Don't try to do too much out there. Just stick with what's gotten you to this point and your success, and you'll be okay.
Now going forward, they're a good shot at Benton now as he enters the top of the third. Again, you made a good point there earlier about his body language. You can still see it right there as he warms up a little bit. I know you're not supposed to be getting highly excited as you're warming up, but you can kind of see like he's kind of a little down there. Now, how do you bounce back? If you're Coach Tam, and Coach Tam obviously is a a proven head coach and a proven entity in the Major League Baseball on his own. What's your message to the young man right now as he trails 3-0?
Well, you see that eye roll right there just as we were going to this great shot of the beautiful water, which I mentioned to you before the game here today. I think you leave him alone. And you let him try to figure out on his own. You don't baby this guy. I think any pitcher will tell you, hey, just let me try to figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, you're out of the game. If it continues, you kind of have to tell him, hey, just settle down. You're doing fine out there. But at some point, these guys are college players, and you have to lay off a little bit and either let them figure it out or let them suffer and unfortunately struggle. We'll see if Benton, though, can capitalize on his success last inning, getting out of that mini jam, and see if he can record his first 1-2-3 inning of the day.
Yeah, that'd be good. Chandler Benton right here is going to face Swinley Lift. Second plate appearance. He got hit by a pitch. His first appearance here, top of the third. Here we go. Low and away. Again, Coach Tam had a very successful pitching career in the Major League Baseball. He played for the Mets, the Indians, the Athletics, and the Toronto Blue Jays from 1998 through 2003, and obviously took over the baseball program here for the Titans back in 2012.
Swinley's a guy who does a nice job of letting the ball travel when he hits, and that comes with a lot of experience in the batting cage, working on going the other way, and that's something you like about Swinley. Because when you let the ball travel like that, you won't get cheated on breaking balls, you won't get cheated on off-speed pitches. You might be a little bit late on the fastball, but at the same time, because he's got quick hands, he can go the other way and hit it with authority.
2-1 count. Again, low and away down in the dirt. 3-1 now for Swinley. This is an opportunity. Chandler's got to get something for him to hit. Let your defense get you out of a jam. There you go. Ball's hit pretty deep. But back there to take and grab out number 2 is the center fielder there as we bring back our audio. Sebastian Rivera. Great play there. As you said, those swirling winds, though, Jim. You get that ball, it seems like it's going to go a little bit further than you anticipate defensively.
Yeah, well, the one thing with me here looking at this field, it looks like right center is a little bit deeper than left center, and I think he hit that to the deepest part of the park right there. A lot of room, though, for Rivera to run, and he did a nice job striding to that baseball.
One out, I should say, here in the top of the third. Next up is Evan Morick. Had a single and an RBI in the top of the first.
I like Morick's swing. Short step. He's got a lot of moving parts because he's a tall guy. He looks about 6'2", 6'3". You got to have a short swing, and you have a lot of moving parts when you're that tall. He has that short step, and right there, recognizing that breaking ball.
Oh, I like the movement on that breaking ball, though, Jim. That was pretty nasty.
It was a good pitch, but from Benton. But at the same time, for Morick, that's not a good swing. You want to let that breaking ball go. Look for the fastball in the 1-0, 2-0 count. In that case, it was 1-0.
1-2 count, one away here, top of the third. Tries to work that low corner, does not get the call. See if he goes back to the well there. Great look at Chandler Benton. Got a great story about how he started his season. Here's the count, 2-2. Finally got the corner, got the call, and rings him up, out number 2.
Good pitch, a fastball right on the black of the plate. Nothing more could do with that pitch right there. At any level, college, professional, when you have a good fastball as Benton does, and it's out there on the outer half of the plate, especially at the knees, from the belt down to the knees, that's one of the toughest pitches to hit. And a lot of times, it does not really look like a strike. Right there, that was a strike, right on the black of the plate.
That was a pretty good pitch right there, a little high. Doesn't get the call. 1-0 there. Good shot of Ricky Gonzalez as Benton rings up his second K of the evening. Be a great opportunity. Benton here, settle down, get out, 3 and out, 3 up, 3 out.
And it's so important, Eric, to have that and really get that momentum boost and that confidence going into next inning. You see what I was saying, though, with Jeff Tam kind of just leaving it alone, let him try to figure it out. I think he has figured it out up to this point with 2 outs in the inning.
A little high gas there. Inside.
And another point, also, his pitches are down in this inning. Unlike that last fastball, but his pitches are down this inning. Like right there, I'd rather him miss down than miss up, because if you miss up, guys might swing at that, even if it's a little bit out of the zone. And a lot of these hitters have good, quick hands. They'll get on top of it. They'll get that good backspin and continue to hit the ball all over the park.
That was a 4-ball walk right there. You don't like to see that. And that brings up Joey Donju. Center fielder number 5. Runner on first, top of the third, 2 outs. Tries to lay the bunt down, goes aerial, out of play. You can see the Suns starting to make a play here defensively. If you're out there in center, second base, right field, and first. But again, what a great story about this campus of Eastern Florida, formerly known as Brevard Community College, to all of a sudden have these facilities just spring so quickly. And these are top-class facilities. It's pretty a special story for the hometown Titans.
They're special facilities, as you said, and looking at this baseball diamond, it's nicer than a lot of baseball diamonds up in the Northeast, in the Mid-Atlantic, where Division I schools reside. Of course, you have the weather working for you down here.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, to have a facility like this is the real deal here. And again, beautiful day for baseball.
It's been absolutely perfect. We really have not had a winter at all, per se, for Florida.
Do we ever?
Well, at times we can. Nice pitch there. Gets him a swing away. Joey Donju. 0-2 count. Top of the third, 3-0. Favor the Panthers. This is the conference home opener for the Titans. They won on the road. They're 1-0 in conference. Palm Beach State's 0-1. There's the pitch. Third strikeout. That's how you get out of the inning. Leaves a runner stranded at first base. 3-0 your score as we enter the bottom of third. And right there you can start to see, like you said, the pitch count is coming down a little bit for Chandler Benton.
Yeah, you see the fastball here. Benton right there on the black of the plate. Might have been a ball, but it had good cutting action to it. And a swing and a miss by Danji.
Tell you what, it's a great look at the field here, but you know, again, the story of Eastern Florida, this used to be known as pretty much like a commuter school, and a very similar university is in Orlando, nearby in Orlando, that now Orlando boasts the second largest enrollment in the country, and now you're almost seeing the same type of model Eastern Florida. Mike Parsons shared the link of the vision for Eastern Florida, and it's something special when you start to get a student union, you're starting to get dorms on facility. You know, you're getting away from that commuter tag where kids are actually can come here, play sports, and actually have the culture of being a student athlete.
And some of these guys want to use junior college as a stepping stone to a Division I program, or they want to use it as maybe getting an opportunity to get drafted to the next level. And what a better place to do it than right here on this campus with this type of facility and with the operations here. That's really what a high school player looks for, I think, in this day and age. Coming out of high school, if they have that shot to get to professional baseball, whether it be signed as a free agent or drafted, whatever the case may be, they want to find the best spot for them, whether it be at a junior college or at a Division I, II, or III university or college. They want to find the best spot for them, and I think with this facility, with what this school has done to put itself right up there with some of the best colleges in all of Florida, at least on the baseball side of things, kudos and hats off to them.
Well, especially if you build top-notch facilities with a name like Bruce Bochy attached to it. Here we go, bottom of the third for the Titans. First plate appearance for number 2, Jason Cornell. Makes a play to third base. High throw, but it's enough for the out. And again, I thought that might have been a tough play, but good place by the corner third baseman to gun him down.
Yeah, good strong arm right there. He set his feet, knowing how much time he had. Got Cornell by plenty.
Well, as soon as I saw that throw, it seemed like it was a little high, but good space at the corner of the first baseman to haul that in. 1 out, bottom of the third. That brings out Jeff Cordy. Funny story is we didn't think we were going to see Jeff Cordy tonight. Sure enough, we looked at starting lineups, and there's number 1-5.
And he does a good job, too, with Benton when he's behind the plate, calling a game, kind of helping Benton settle down out there on the mound.
And before this, he only played one game, started one game. It's nice to have number 15 back, Jeff Cordy. He's a local product, sophomore catcher out of Melbourne, Florida. Good shot at Jeff. Foul zone out away.
Good swing, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't get cheated up there. That breaking ball right there from Aria left up a little bit on the inner half. He took a good hack at it, which is exactly what you're supposed to do in this type of count. And he bounced it foul.
Right here with the way the Titans score, Fish are like 9.375 runs per game. Is you just basically got to chip away, but they got to get that first momentum to get some runners in the base. Here we go. Right at the second baseman, out number 2. Cordy goes down, so that's going to bring up shortstop in the 9-hole, number 16, Roberto Navarro.
Aria, guy who, Eric, was recruited by USF, FIU, and Barry coming out of high school, and you can see why here tonight. Opted for the junior college route, which is never a bad option, but he's doing a nice job here tonight through the first 2 2/3 innings.
Navarro is the only other player, him and Jacob McFadden have started all games, 16 games played. That's Roberto Navarro, comes in with a 293 batting average. This is his 59th at bat for the Titans. And he takes a pitch out and away.
Aria looking to face the minimum here, Eric, and you know, you look at Gio and how relaxed out there he is on the mound, working quickly at his pace. Look where that pitch was, right there on the black, on the outside corner, thigh high.
That was right downtown, yeah.
Nobody's going to swing at that on 2-0. And when you're able to hit that spot on 2-0 as a strike, which is supposed to be a 2-strike pitch, you're a guy who's going to have a lot of success, I think, as he let that breaking ball get away. But again, when you hit your spots, good things will happen.
Well, he takes one for the team right there. Hit by pitch. So he'll get on the base pad. That is the first time he's been hit by a pitch this season. And that'll bring up the top of the order. And that's very important timing right here. Let's take a look right here. Ball just never broke back.
Well, he's got that elbow guard on, so it probably didn't hurt all that much. You never like getting hit by a pitch. You always want to be up there and get a chance to swing the bat, but
yeah, it's never good. It's never good strategy to get hit by a pitch.
As you said, though, take one for the team.
Here we go, and that sure enough, like you said, is little gapper. They're going to hold him at second base, but that's the first time we've had runners on first and second just like that. You get to the top of the order, maybe a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 3rd. Sebastian Rivera, a nice base hit there between first and second, and what a beautiful time to see the big hitter that you really got. I think he's got a future right here is number 14.
Yeah, and he's a guy who's very patient, too, at the plate. He will wait for his pitch. He's got good leg drive at the plate. He's very calm, good, relaxed demeanor. I think if he puts on a couple of pounds in terms of getting in the weight room, putting on some more muscle, I think the sky's the limit for this guy.
Acevedo comes in, just had a great year so far. Leads the team, 31 hits, 23 runs. And he's got 1 home run on the season. This would be a great time to hit a 3-run jack right here. Ball gets away. Runners will advance to second and third. And just like that, the Titans were kind of sitting dormant. And they're alive here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Looked like a cross-up right there, Eric. A fastball was thrown by Aria. Instead, I think McKay, the catcher, was expecting a curveball, which is why the glove flinched towards the inner half of the plate and deflected off. That's why he also went out there to talk things over with Aria, trying to get back on the same page.
We're so far so good for Ariara, but right now he's kind of in little troubled waters. Be great time for the Titans to make him pay. See Coach Tam up there coaching up his player at third base. Acevedo, young man's got some talent. Had him on the show, and he was so thankful to Coach Tam about the opportunity to come up here and play for the Titans, to chase his dream to play Major League Baseball. It's great to see someone pursue their dreams and have the support to do so. Just like that, 3-0. So what's the call here, Jimmy?
Well, I think with the base open right here, being that he's the number 2 hitter, you do give him the red light here. Tell him to take, at least see a pitch.
Okay.
You don't want to swing at that pitch anyway.
Yeah.
Outer half of the plate at the knees, not the pitch you want. Now here, though, if you're Acevedo, you're locked in. ready for that pitch, waiting for your pitch. You don't want to go out of the zone. You don't want to swing at something that even may be a strike, but not your pitch that you may roll over on.
Here we go, 3-1 pitch, 2 out, bottom of the third. Runners on first and second, and just like that, bases loaded for the Titans. They're in business, and as you said, coming up the heart of the order, and talk about a guy you want to be at the plate is number 10, Jacob McFadden. This young man leads the team with 4 home runs, and he has 21 RBIs. This would be a great opportunity. Good look at Jacob Fadden right here to get a couple runs across the plate.
You know, as much as his power is there in his game, it is also the fact that he can also bang hits out gap to gap as well, which makes him a very dangerous hitter at the college level.
First pitch, great play behind the dish there to not let that get away. Because we were talking about a lot of real estate to this field. That gets away, and the time will be called as coach will come out as Gio Arriara is in a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the third, but much to the delight of the hometown Titans.
That breaking ball for Arriara just hasn't been the same here in the inning. He's been missing with it. His fastball's been okay, but that breaking stuff has not been on point, and he hasn't really been hitting his spots.
So what's your message right here if you're going out there to talk to Gio?
I think just get back to the basics. And when Arriara is on his game, everything is very simple. Just hit your spots. That's really the basics. Hit your spots and don't leave your pitches up, and continue to pound home the point of hitting your spots, because when you do that, he's a tough guy to hit.
And again, you're going to see the ebbs and flows of baseball, especially between these two programs that have so much history. And again, these are the momentums right here. You have to take advantage. Kind of a wild pitch, almost got away. Great play behind the dish there. 1-0 count, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Can the Titans cash in here? Oh, it's a good pitch. Hard to lay off on that one, Jim.
Now you saw there too, he was upset with himself that he let that one go by. That's the pitch that he would love to have back.
1-1 count, bases loaded. Oh, that was close. 2-1 in favor of Jacob McFadden.
But at the same time, a very, very good take. On a 1-1 pitch like that with a curveball on the inner half, that's not something you want, because a lot of times your eyes get big. And when your eyes get big like that, you're just going to hit it on the ground, and you're going to hit it weakly.
2-1 count, Jacob McFadden. Takes again, gets the 3-1. Now what's the play here, Jim? 2 outs, you're up on the count, 3-1.
Well, if I'm McFadden, I'm sitting dead red fastball, nothing else. And if it's a pitch that even slightly looks out of the zone, I'm taking it and letting it get to 3-2.
Here we go, 3-1. Can the Titans punch one across the dish? Wild it away. That'll cost a walk, and Titans punch their first run of the evening. Right there it is, 3-1 your score now. Gio is in a little bit of trouble for Palm Beach State. Bases continue to be loaded, and that brings up number 11, the cleanup hitter, right fielder Sammy Duran. He struck out his first time at the plate. This would be a great opportunity to make amends in this position.
And his front shoulder is flying out. Speaking of Arriara, his catcher's going out there to talk things over with him right now and try to get him back on the same page. Good idea, all the infielders gathering together, trying to get Gio back to where he needs to be, but that front side is really flying open. That's why you see a fastball like that get away and skip in the dirt low and outside to a right-handed hitter.
Well, Sammy Duran, be a great time to make Palm Beach State pay.
I think with Gio right now, he's trying too hard, and he doesn't have to do that. He has enough talent to where he can just throw strikes in there and guys will swing and miss, because that's how talented he is. That's how good his stuff really is.
Well, Jim, now you're almost kind of seeing the opposite effect of how Chandler Benton was struggling that first inning for the Titans, and now Gio is in a pickle here in the bottom of the third.
What do they say in football? Tale of two halves.
Yes,
well,
sir.
It's a tale of a couple of innings here.
Here we go, first pitch, bases loaded. Titans finally on the board. They trail 3-1, bottom of the third.
Again, you see right there how his front shoulder flied open. That's why the pitch ended up where it was, high and outside. I don't know if it's fatigue or what, but again, getting back to basics is the best opportunity for Gio to get out of this jam.
1-0 count to Sammy Duran. Takes a big cut. Fouled out of play. 1-1 the count. It's a good little chess match right here. Good look of Sammy Duran. Coach Tam's really had a good complement of sophomores this season. I think that the Titans, based on their balance of hitting and pitching, I think they really have a great chance to make a good run this season. I really do.
And right now, if you're Duran, don't try to do too much. There's a pretty big hole in that right side.
Even count 1-1. Sammy Duran gets the pitch right there. Good pitch by Gio, outside corner, 1-2. What do you look for here for Sammy Duran, Jim?
Well, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not guessing. I'm swinging at what's close here. I'm a little bit surprised already by the bullpen activity here.
Yeah, it's James Reynolds, right-handed pitcher, freshman. And here we go, 1-1 count. That's going to have to make a play to first, and they do. Force it out, but most importantly, Titans get on the board. They cut the deficit to 2 runs. Your score after 3 innings played. We're a third away there, 3-1 in favor of the visiting Panthers in conference action. Eric Kohler alongside Jim Tarabokia. Top of the 4th inning. Bring up Chandler Benton. Let's take a look at what happened right there. Sammy Duran, bases loaded. And this was just, had to protect the plate at 1-2, Jim.
Yeah, a little bit out in front of that breaking pitch. Good job by Morick over there at third to charge in, collect that high hop, off-balance throw accurately to first.
Well, at least the biggest thing is they score right there, making a 3-1 count. And I think that's the biggest thing. Now you kind of, Gio Arriara was basically on cruise control, and now you kind of force his pitch count, and now Chandler Benton on the other side is a tale of 2 halves. Is coming to play here.
Here's that high bounding ball coming in, collecting it at the chest.
Yeah.
And when you collect it like that at the chest, rather than waiting for it on the short hop, catching it by your shins, you have a better and easier time of transferring it to your throwing hand and getting an accurate throw over to first. It's not always a bad thing when you throw off balance and off 1 foot, as long as you collect that high hop in, and then you can easily toss it over because your momentum is already going that way to first.
Yeah, that was a good defensive play. Number 7, third baseman Evan Morick, and as you said, is when you get it up high, you keep your head up high and make a better shoulder throw, and the first baseman was able to gobble that up. But a great opportunity for the Titans to really make Gio pay for Palm Beach State, but nevertheless, they do get on board. 3-1 here is your count here as we enter the top of the 4th inning. Leading things off for the Panthers will be their catcher. Popped out to the third baseman in the 2nd inning. This is Drexler McKaya. Looks like he's going to pop up another one. Ball's kind of drifting with the wind, and the ball comes all the way back in. It looks like Acevedo played it where it was going to be out of play, and just like that, it had the spin, Jim, to all of a sudden come back into play.
Looks like the wind is kind of starting to swirl around, maybe shifts back from left to right here at the park, and Acevedo just overran it. Once he got onto the warning track, he was kind of tiptoeing around instead of just finding the spot and getting next to the side fencing and making the grab.
So McKaya gets out of that one. That's a beautiful pitch, little hanger. Strike 2.
Didn't look like McKay was expecting that, did it?
No, that ball was like an egg drop right there. 0-2 count. See if Benton can get him down in 3 pitches. Ooh, real close right there. Good hack at it by McKaya, number 4.
See those quick hands by McKaya. We talked about it earlier with that bat quickness. Once he's in that loaded, cocked position, it's how quick the barrel of the bat gets to that cocked position, from that cocked position to the point of contact.
0-2 count. There's a pitch. Tries to get him to go fishing, to no avail.
I think a guy in McKay right here, maybe you explore next offseason possibly going to more of a leg kick and getting more drive with your legs, because hitting, like many things in baseball, it starts from the ground up.
Big hat there. Great piece of hitting right there. Big single out there, the right fielder.
You're exactly right, Eric. That is a great piece of hitting. A pitch on the outer third of the plate, and he doesn't over-rotate. He goes with it, and he smacks it right into right center field. Guys with quick hands and guys with that good bat quickness, you're going to see the ball jump off the bat. And that's really what professional scouts always look for. They look for that jump off the bat. When you hit a line drive, sometimes it's a soft line drive. When you get that backspin and when it zings off the bat, that's what scouts look for and how they determine a guy who can hit at the college level and the pro level with an aluminum and wood bat, and if a guy can hit with a wood bat at the next level, and how they differentiate from a guy who can just hit at the college level.
Brings up Derek Schwimmer. Top of the fourth inning, no outs. Runner at first base. He's piece inning and Drexler McKaya. Schwimmer squares to bunt. It's called strike.
What do you think of that bunt attempt there, Eric?
I don't think Tom Amansky would be very happy.
I don't either. I agree 100%. I'll tell you what, bunting, I'm not sure why. It's a lost start in the game. And you see it at every level. Do you remember in the National League Division Series last year when it was the Dodgers who failed to drop down the bunt late in the game? These are professional guys, the best in the world.
They're getting paid a lot of money.
Unable to drop down a bunt. And for whatever reason, guys just don't know how to bunt anymore. And right here, he's not using his legs to bunt. You have to use your legs to bunt.
Yes. You have
not
to
just stab at the baseball.
No, you got to crouch down, get squared up. Here we go, 1-2. And he slaps one off and gets a single. Just like that, he doesn't get it done with the bunt, but he picks up kind of a slap-off bunt single, and there it is. First and second, that's going to bring out Coach Tam.
And Schwimmer today 2 for 2, good piece of hitting.
Sure was.
Elevated fastball, and he just serves it the other way.
Let's see who's getting up in the bullpen. For the Titans, it looks like it's number 20 is going to go down and warm up. Tyler Kaiser, freshman pitcher out of Orlando, Florida.
See how he just serves the baseball the other way with that hit for Schwimmer, now 2 for 2. Doesn't try to do too much in that number 9 spot, an elevated pitch. Almost a 75% type swing.
It's a good shot of Kaiser right there, I should say. Great job, our camera crew. Some looks here. I mean, we got so many different looks here for WEFS-TV. I mean, this is pretty something special right there when you get the opportunity to call in some looks from the truck.
Did you see that shot of the sun setting, too? Just a gorgeous night for baseball here. Not a cloud in the sky, at least from where I'm sitting. There are some clouds off a little bit in the outfield, well beyond where we're sitting, but it is just a gorgeous night for baseball.
Sure is. America's pastime. Great shot there. The waterways, the way this is framed out.
You mentioned this facility too. The batting cages are underneath. They're covered so you can hit at any time during the day if you're a student. That's exactly what you want if you're a college student. College baseball players, they love, if there are position players, they love to hit at any time during the day. Between classes, they can just head to the batting cage and go hit.
Top of the order for Matt Morales. Had a single in the first and was forced out at second base in the second inning. Again, this is kind of a dangerous situation as Coach Tam came out to talk to Chandler Benton, his pitcher here in the fourth inning. First and second, 2 back-to-back singles, no out, top of the fourth. Now right here, this is where he got in trouble in the first inning, where he focused so much on the lead runner that it took away all his energy and focus at the plate. And that's a tough move right there to go back at second base.
I really don't understand it. He's not taking a big lead, speaking about McKay out there at second. There's really no reason to focus on that.
Here's the pitch. Now that's a good bunt right there. And he's got to wait for the play, and that is called out. That was very, very close.
Yeah, it was, but I think he was out by a half a step. But Matt Morales, a guy who's a transfer from Stetson University, we alluded to it earlier. He's been around college baseball. He knows what his role is in the leadoff spot. And right there, perfectly dropping down the bunt, using his legs, squaring up, maneuvering with where the pitch was to drop down that bunt. And Benton double clutching a little bit, waiting for his second baseman, Cornell, to get over there. That's a great job by Morales, though.
Great bunt. Next up is Banlin Sparks, fouls it out down the right side. But again, that was great fundamental baseball right there. As you said, when you got to crouch down, you really got to square up, eye the ball, get down, and deaden the speed and the inertia of the baseball and force the infielders to make a play, most notably the pitcher.
That's where those PFPs, the pitcher's fielding practice, comes in.
Yep.
You notice how Matt Morales, I think maybe some people might be wondering, why is a leadoff hitter bunting when he's one of the best hitters on your team? College baseball coaches don't really care where you're batting in the order. They only care about scoring runs. That's why Morales was up there to bunt. You want to get guys, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, Eric. You want to get guys up there in a situation like right now, runners at second and third with one of your best hitters on the team in Balin Sparks, and give a chance to drive those runs in. It's easier to do that with runners at second and third and 1 out rather than runners at first and second and 2 outs if Morales were to get out.
Good team play here. Second and third, 1 out. 1-2 the count. Ball's hit high. Sun does kind of come into play, and a good play to get under there. That's number 2, Jason Corneal, out number 2.
Big pitch by Benton right there. Breaking pitch that Sparks out in front. It was low in the zone, right where it needs to be. Benton did not make that big pitch in the first inning. He's been making those pitches, though, here in the last couple of innings. Now he's got an opportunity to really work out of this jam. It hasn't had his best stuff here tonight. We see the bullpen activity down the left field line, but at the same time, he can really put a stamp on this one if he can get out of this jam and hold the lead for Palm Beach where it is at 3-1.
That was a big out right there as Jeff Cordy goes out there to talk to Chandler. So top of the 4th, runners at second and third. Now 2 away for James Buckley. Struck out his last at bat in the 2nd inning. Good pitch there, no call. Very, very close. John Levine, home plate umpire. Good look there at Chandler, working here in the top of the 4th inning. Thanks for joining us. Live action here at WEFS-TV. Got ourselves a good one, the Panthers and Titans from Bruce Bochy Field. Ball's fouled away. It's good to work with you, Jim. First time you and I had worked together. It's a good broadcast crew here.
You as well, and if you notice, the outfielders here, not as deep as I would think they would be. I think with the outfielders, McFadden, Rivera, Duran, left to right in the outfield, they need to be deep, no doubles defense, nothing over your head. It's easier to come in than go back.
Yeah, the wind's blowing out to the left, and to your point, that ball has got the tailwinds of the wind right in the corner. That scores 2 runs, and just like that, you dialed up that call right there. The wind was blowing out, and you couldn't have hit it. You couldn't have dropped it in a better spot in that left corner wall.
You know, as a corner outfielder, whether it be in left field or right field, Eric, anytime there's a line drive or fly ball hit like that along the line, it's always going to slice away from you.
Right.
That's why you have to take that angle back and go towards the corner if you're a left fielder to your right. And right there, somewhat of a bad jump by McFadden, but a good piece of hitting, a pitch elevated, good backspin, and that's what gave that opportunity for that line drive to continue to sail, and slice. That's a tough play for any corner outfielder.
And that's going to be it for Chandler Benton. And I'm sure that he wasn't so happy about that. But again, you really couldn't. It's McFadden over there. There was no way to defend that. I mean, that ball was perfectly placed there. The way the wind, everything was set up. And you can see McFadden was kind of disgusted by it too, because McFadden is a very good defensive player out there in left field.
That's frustrating when you have that, when it has that slice on it like that. You know, you just aren't going to get to that baseball, and you're not going to be able to save those runs, really, no matter how deep you're playing.
That brings in number 20, and a great shot there of coming in. What a beautiful shot there, the sun behind the clouds. And that's going to bring in Kaiser, number 20, that was in the bullpen, but just like that, it's 5-1 in favor of the Panthers. So good luck there for Kaiser. Number 20, freshman out of Orlando. Orlando's just about 45 to 50 minutes away from the Melbourne campus there of Eastern Florida State College. Let's see if we can kind of do damage control, get out of this. You know, right there, Jim, it looked like Palm Beach State was off to the races here. Let's see how this unfolded right here.
Well, that breaking ball up at the belt, good hitters like that, they're going to salivate at that and foam at the mouth and slice it the other way.
I mean, a good camera shot right there to see that opposite angle. That you just kind of, like you said, the spin is working in the favor, the wind was working in their favor, and just like that, it's. But I mean, the way the inning started out, you had 2 back-to-back singles, thinking that, they're in trouble again. Then you get 2 back-to-back outs, and you get him right up head on the count, gets the perfect pitch. All the intangibles are in his favor. And he gets a double, 2 RBIs for James Buckley.
And James, this is why he is such a good hitter. This is why he hits over 400. That curveball, he easily could have tried to pull it and rip it 400 feet over the wall and right. Instead, he went with it the other way. Didn't try to do too much. And when you don't try to do too much, those results like that happen. Yep. You hit line drives the other way and drive in 2.
So opportunity for number 20. Tyler Kaiser comes in relief. Top of the fourth, 5-1 now your count here. 2 outs here. And that brings up number 12, second baseman Swindley Lint for the Panthers, runner on second base. Good pitch there. Get a little confidence to come in here. And again, as you see, is that the Titans score a lot of runs. You just got to keep it within a range within the game. And this would be a great opportunity. Great shot there at Kaiser. Starts off with an 0-1 count. Low and away, 1-1.
Lint needs to keep things simple at the plate because there's a lot of moving parts there. Good athletic frame. But when you keep things simple, short stride, he's got a small step. Let your hands and your hips do the work and you'll be all right.
Oh, good off-speed pitch right there. Just totally had Lint snookered there.
Oh, a frisbee-type slider.
Absolutely.
And Lint was fooled.
1-2 count, top of the fourth. Perfect evening for America's pastime to return here on the Space Coast. Low and away, 2-2.
Talk about Swindley, Eric, keeping it simple at the plate. See how he hunches down with 2 strikes right there? He's basically making the strike zone smaller now. Any advantage he can get up at the plate.
Here we go, 2-2, 2 outs. Got him. Great relief to come in there as Kaiser. But the Panthers strike 2 runs on 2 RBIs, a big double by James Buckley in the corner that Jacob McFadden simply had no real estate to get to. So that's your score, 5-1. Eric Kohler alongside Jim Tarabokia. And as the sun is starting to get behind the clouds here, Eastern Florida, look at that good move right there. Talking about a nice little kick by Kaiser. Gets him down. That's got to feel good for you to come in there. You're kind of in a spot. Your team needs you. Step up to plate, get her done.
Doing your job and keeping the score where it is right now. It's time for Eastern Florida State to get going offensively here. They showed some flashes back in the 3rd inning, but they've got some work to do down 5-1. It'll be interesting to see how Gio Ariara will rebound after struggling a little bit last inning.
Well, it's a beautiful evening here. It's about 76 degrees. You got the winds blowing out east to southeast, about 12 miles per hour. And again, that really favored James Buckley on that double to get those 2 runs. Now the margin is 4. But we had some action there the last inning for the Titans. Couldn't cash it in. Got that first run, but could have got a couple more. But bottom line is they did that as a 2-out rally. And we'll see how that plays out as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. And as you've been around and played a lot of baseball and called a lot of baseball, you just got to keep your head high. You never know. A lot of things can happen, especially at the collegiate level, where a lot of teams, as you said earlier, they like to score runs.
And at the collegiate level, you do score a lot of runs. So, again, Eastern Florida State College is not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination, but they have to really have some good at-bats here against Gio.
Got to start chipping it away. Here we go, Ian Lyle, the DH. Pops it up way in the wind. That ball is in the air for a very, very long time, but it's gobbled up, scooped up by number 1, Derek Schwimmer. And that'll be out number 1 here, bottom of the 4th.
Next up, number 17, Dylan Owens.
Comes Dylan Owens. This is a great opportunity for Dylan. Hit into that 4-6-3 double play. Hit it hard, but just hit it right to the second baseman. Let's see if he can make some amends right here, Jim. Nice pitch. Gee, a little pop right there. TV crew setting up that audio like that. Let's take a look, listening in on this one. Back-to-back strikes. Dylan Owens.
I beg your pardon, Eric. I think you pound him in here with a fastball. You don't want to give him anything to hit. Good job pounding him in, leaving that breaking ball high and tight, because when you leave it high and tight like that, the hitter is going to have to tomahawk it, and that's not the type of hitter that Dylan Owens is.
1-2 count, bottom of the 4th. Gets him. He kept working that low and away corner, got the call. Dylan Owens goes down on strikes.
When you go pitch by pitch right there in that at bat, fastball over the outer third, strike 1. Fastball at the knees, on the outside corner, strike 2. 2 pitches that really aren't hittable when you have the stuff in the fastball of Gio Ariara. Then you miss with the breaking ball up and in. Pretty good miss pitch. Maybe a little bit more dangerous than, say, a fastball in the dirt, but a good miss pitch, and it comes right back, shifting to the outer half of the plate, hitting his spot, and a strike 3 call. You're going to get that call, too, on the black of the plate when you're Gio Ariara and you're throwing a lot of strikes.
Bottom of the 4, 2 outs, Jason Corneal. Slaps one up the middle of the shortstop. Routine play, 3 up, 3 down. Nothing doing for the Titans here in the bottom of the 4th. Your score remains Palm Beach State 5, Eastern Florida 1. Gio, for Palm Beach State, seemed like he really came out with a nice sense of energy there in the top of the 4th. You could hear from our audio that really had some pep and pop in that mitt right there.
And, you know, with tonight's home plate umpire, John Levine, he gets in rhythm with pitchers, too.
Yeah.
So when you're in rhythm as a pitcher, the umpire is going to be in rhythm with you as well, and you're going to get those close pitches. And that's exactly really what that inning was. See that leg drive, though? Great shot here. Look at this leg drive. Right off the back leg, good arm action, good follow-through. Watch the torque as well. See the separation between the hips and his hands, the hips and his upper body. That's when you get that good torque, that's what gives you that good arm speed, and then you get that great fastball as you see that great shot of the sunset.
Wow, check that out. Nice job for our truck right there. Looks like a big old sun-kissed orange sitting on Bruce Bochy Field. Tell you what, beautiful facility. Great shot, great evening. This is some of the best weather. This is the last day of February. Can't believe how fast 2017's already burned through 2 months. But what's exciting about baseball is back on campus, that is. They've been playing 16 games, that is. But it's nice to get some national exposure, get some eyes of the set on this program of Coach Tam. You can see some of the fan base out there, the hometown Titans. Come out there, good look as the wind's blowing out from east to southeast. Everybody's on their phones these days, huh? I was on my phone and smashed it on the pavement taking my kids to school. That didn't work out very well.
And I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
Yes. I've never
It looks like you took a sledgehammer to your phone.
That's what happens when I'm down 5-1 in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, that's right. You take a sledgehammer to your phone.
Yeah.
Nothing like ruining a phone over a baseball game, right?
Yeah, I tell you what. You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do to support the Titans.
You know, you mentioned that they've been playing here since January, and they've played 16 games already.
Yes, they have.
The fall is like their off season, starting in September for college teams when they get back, and in Florida when they start in January. So these guys are already, they're in mid-season form. You look at the big league level, they're in spring training right now.
Top of the 5th inning.
And I think that's really what makes college baseball, Eric, very special, is the fact that you have baseball in what would be the off season of the majors.
It's Evan Morick. Baseball's good, man. America's pastime. Once it's in your blood, it's in you.
Exactly, and you know, with these guys, it's like pretty much like a full-time job for these students, being a student athlete, going to class, and then having to do all the training when they're coming back from summer ball in September.
Oh, ball gets away, and Morick takes it right on his back, almost like that number 7 was like a target X on his back. He's okay, shrugs it off, hit by pitch. He'll advance to first. Start the top of the 5th inning. Take another look here.
You're not getting out of the way of that. Fastball just kept running in, and you heard that pop, that thud.
That's when you hit those cold tubs after the game. That's going to leave a mark. Brings up DH Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky had a big double and knocked in 2 RBIs in the 1st inning. And that where it started, that got the padding for the Panthers.
But you'd rather take it on the back
Yeah.
than take it on the wrist, or take it somewhere where you can seriously get hurt and miss a lot of time.
Anywhere in the facial regions. You've seen some shots over the past few years, some very dangerous situations in the major league, in the minor league, that you know, someone could actually really check out right there.
Remember one thing that comes to mind quickly, Jason Hayward.
Oh, my Lord.
Back in 2012 when he was with the Braves and they were in New York and Flushing taking on the Mets. He got hit right in the face, and he still has his helmet extended all the way down to his right cheek.
I mean, just like that, you're playing baseball all your life, and a flash bang bang play, you're on the ground, you don't know what's happening.
That's exactly why you'd rather get hit in the back. You know, there are some guys at every level that enjoy getting hit by pitches. you understand it, but you like to take it for the team, but sometimes it goes overboard and guys
Yeah.
get hit in the wrist or the arm and they miss some serious time.
Yeah, because there's no meat right there. Big play there. Good play by Owens at the corner, because that could have gone deep in that right field corner. Good defensive play to get the force out at first. Runner does advance to second, but a nice defensive play there by number 17, Dylan Owens.
Number 5, Joey
Smothered it
Benton.
right in front of the bag. Not sure if he would have had a play on Morick at second base, but get that sure out at first and give your pitcher a chance to wiggle out of this very small jam.
Brings up center field to number 5, Joey Donju. Let's take a look at this. You're going to be impressed by this, viewers, to see what Dylan Owens did here.
Okay, look to second. No need to try to force something that's not there. Just get the out at first.
Good terminology there. You just covered it up right. He just basically smothered it. Just stop the momentum of the baseball. You're right by the bag. Make the play, nothing special. Just get it done.
Yeah, you want to slow the game down sometimes. And in that case, when you're Owens over there at first base, he kind of trickled into foul territory. But slowing the game down on that play is not trying to force anything to second. Look to second, see what you have. Nothing there. Take the sure out at first.
Good frame right there to see all the actors involved here. Top of the 5th, runner on second. 1 out. Got a little stubby shot right there. Good play by the shortstop to come up there, and that could double him up, and it does. Great heads-up play to get out of the inning, and great relief work by Kaiser, but a great heads-up play by the shortstop to make not only the pop out there at short, but to throw it back to second to get the force. We're out of the top of the 5th.
Not sure he knew how many outs there were.
Yeah, he was running full force. Nevertheless, Titans were heads up. He wasn't. You can see Coach came there and talked to Evan Morick. Kind of one of those things where you kind of go daydreaming, and sure enough, you're out of the inning. But much to do for the Titans as they get out of there. As a 5-1 is your count right now. Bottom of the 5th inning as we enter for Eastern Florida. See, the darkness is starting to come upon us. Let's take the look at here, right here. Good play to come up and see. Look how far down Morick is down the baseline.
To the left of your screen right there, you saw Morick. He stutter stepped and kind of realized, uh-oh, I think there was only 1 out, and he was doubled off.
Good heads-up play by number 16 to know where he was in the game. That was Norberto Navarro. And this would be a great opportunity here as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning for the Titans to get something going here. Again, good look here by different camera angles. Look how far down number 7, Evan Morick, is. Just completely checked out mentally right there.
3/4 of the way towards third.
Yep. Sometimes those mental lapses, those can make a difference in a ball game, especially against an explosive team for the Titans. So here we go. This will be the catcher leading things off in the bottom of the 5th. Grounded out in the 3rd inning to the second baseman. It's Jeff Cordy. See if Jeff can get back in here. He missed an extended period of time with an injury. And a lot of us in the press box were actually surprised that he got the start this evening. But it's a great way to see him back in the game. Let's see if he can take advantage of that opportunity being back in the lineup. Take strike 1, 0-1.
You know, now Ariara has a chance to get a quality start here. Statistically speaking, he only has 2 quality starts on the year, but 2 of those starts have been mercy rule games. He could easily have 4 quality starts up to this point, and he could have theoretically number 5, statistically number 3 here today. We'll see how he does here in the 5th.
Good base wrap right there, but good defensive player by the center fielder to come up and take that away from him. That's number 5, Joey Donju. Again, I thought that Cordy right there had an opportunity to get a single to start things up here in the bottom of the 5th. To no avail, 1 out. Brings up Norberto Navarro that made that great defensive play on the other side, doubling up the Panthers. See what Norberto can do here in the 9-hole.
And that's now 4 straight retired. You can see Gio starting to get into a rhythm out there. When you retire that many hitters in order,
yeah,
as they appeal, that's when you start to really get into your rhythm out there on the mound. You start to repeat your delivery because you're continually getting outs, continually throwing strikes. And that's what's working for Ariara right now.
Yeah, they had an opportunity in the third inning. That ball's going to get over the third baseman. And good piece of hitting right there. And a good heads-up play on the left fielder to bring it in to not allow Navarro to get to second base. But Titans in business here with one down the bottom of the fifth. The most important thing, that's going to bring the top of the order to the plate, Jim. That's going to bring up Sebastian Rivera.
Got some top spin there off the bat of Navarro, and he was able to get it into left field.
So top of the order for Rivera. Grounded out to first in the first, and then had a single in the third inning. Good look there to lay off there. 1-0 here. One out, bottom of the fifth. Titans trail by 4 runs. This is conference play, second conference game for both these teams, the Panthers and the Titans. Thanks for joining us. Live coverage here on WEFS-TV. We'll be back on the air this Thursday at 6. Big wrap there to left field. And that advances the runner to second base, first and second, just like that. You cannot sleep on the Titans. And this will be a great opportunity as that brings up your guy, number 14, Ian Acevedo.
You know, for a team that has scored 150 runs this year,
That's impressive, huh?
You would think scoring runs would not be an issue, but now's an opportunity here to really get back in this game if you're the Titans. Good piece of hitting. Inside-out swing, fastball in the inner half, and took it the other way.
Nice job for Rivera. First and second for Acevedo here. Bottom of the fifth. Be nice if he could get a hold of one here. He's got the power. And it was great sitting down with him, though, to get to know him a little bit personally on the show of Inside Titan Sports. You can catch that every Thursday night here on WEFS-TV. But he's really passionate about where he's going. And he's one of those guys you just want to start rooting for. High and away. That'll go outside the dugout of the Panthers. Jim, what impresses you? I know there's so many superlatives about Ian right here. But how do you take that growth schedule for him to continue to progress in his career?
Well, I think you look after every season as a baseball player at a high level, you take a look at what you can improve on, whether it be on the field or with your intangibles. And I think here with Ian, the biggest thing is maybe put on some more muscle, because I think he's got the body language and he has the tools to play at the next level. I think if he gets stronger, this guy can be a true talent at the next level, because he has a good approach at the plate. Right there, that fastball, perfect example of it. He let it go by. It wasn't his pitch. He could have swung at it. A lot of college hitters will. Not him. He's not afraid to get into a 1-2 count right here, and he's not afraid to battle a very good pitcher in Ariara with 2 strikes.
Here we go. Big at plate right here. Big at bat, 1-2. Stymies him. Gets him caught inside. He'll stay 1-2 with 1 out.
And a lot of hitters in college will not be able to foul that pitch off. You see how he got handcuffed with his
he totally
legs
got jammed
and
in.
his hands?
Yeah.
But he was still somehow able to get a piece and just spoil the pitch.
Big at bat for the Titans here. Big juncture of the game here. Bottom of the fifth. Set it up for you. Runners on first and second. Ian Acevedo.
Right there with
up the plate.
I'm sorry, Eric. Right there with Acevedo, I think you have to step out.
Yeah.
You know, as a hitter, you have to have a count in your head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. If he gets to 4, that's when you have to step out, because you never want to give that advantage to the pitcher.
Here we go, 1-2 count. Ground ball. That's a tough play right there. And a good heads-up play by Gio to make that out at first. Runners do advance to second and third. And you know what, right there, a lot of people didn't catch that. Gio kind of, when he touched that bag, kind of looked like he rolled his ankle a little bit.
It looks to fortunately be okay.
Let's take a look at this right here.
See, right by the dirt, right at the cut of the grass, the cutout. He catches it here. That's where, like, as you said, he slips. Well, a little bit closer to the bag. He slips a little bit trying to get to the base. He seems to be okay. But the reason he was over there and was able to catch that ball like that and field it on that hopper was because he was over covering the base just in case the first baseman, Sparks, were to charge.
That brings up Jacob McFadden.
Which, quite frankly, that is Sparks' ball. And that's a good job by Ariara to get over there to the base. A lot of times when there's a ball hit to the right side, you hear the catcher go, get over, get over. They'll scream it because a lot of times pitchers will forget it even at the professional level. I remember in the World Series last year, Aroldis Chapman, who throws as hard as anybody in the world, forgot to get over to first base, and Rizzo was late getting to the bag. The runner was safe. So it happens at every level. But a good job by Gio, good heads up, getting over to first base. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time and field the ball.
Second and third here. Jacob McFadden, a great opportunity, though, Jim, to get a couple more runs here. This is the guy that has the power that can cash in, but this is a great opportunity. Got to do something with here, Mr. McFadden. Gets him handcuffed right there. Strike two. Good off-speed pitch there. 1-2, good luck for Jacob McFadden. Again, one of the big leaders here of the Titans sophomore class for Coach Tam. Jacob's got to be disciplined. He's got to protect the plate here. 1-2, 2 outs. Kind of fouls it off the inside. That's the part you said when you're going to get hit. You never like taking a hit inside the shin there. Just not a lot of protective meat there as he tries to walk it off there. Good look at number 10. Most importantly, he stays alive, though, Jim. Let's see where he hits him right here. Yeah, right there on the top
right
of the
on the shin. Yeah. You hear the old saying, take a hammer to your shin, bang it up against your shin. That's how, Eric, that feels when a foul ball is hit off your ankle or shin like that. That's
like
why
the
guys,
sequel to the movie Misery.
And that's why, yeah, that's right, and that's why a lot of guys wear the shin guard. That's exactly, that's a good point.
Jacob McFadden down 1-2. Runners on second and third. It's a good eye there. Gio's in the game, the starting pitcher for Palm Beach State. Starting pitcher for Chandler Benton checked out in favor of Kaiser.
More bullpen activity down the right field line. I'll be interested to see how many more batters Gio has here.
Number 17's back up there for Palm Beach State. Here's the pitch and gets him. That's a big strikeout. You know, big play by Gio right there, but scores 5-1. This is conference play. You're watching continuing action here on WEFS-TV. We're going to take a short break and come back with continued pastime action of baseball, Americana style. 5-1 your score. We're heading in the top of the sixth. Keep it locked in right here. Jim Tarabokia and Eric Kohler. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Join us for a backyard barbecue cook-off and family fest on Saturday, March 11th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Melbourne campus of Eastern Florida State College. Sponsored by the EFSC Alumni Association, you can sample food from teams of amateur cooks competing for cash prizes, trophies, and bragging rights. Plus, enjoy lunch included with your admission from Meemaw's Barbecue, bluegrass music by Penny Creek Band, a kids zone, and more. The first 100 advance tickets sold will be entered into a drawing for a gas barbecue grill donated by Home Depot, so don't delay. For more information and tickets, contact the Alumni Association at 321-433-7053 or at the web address on your screen. The proceeds of this event will benefit the EFSC Athletic Booster Club.
Hey fans, welcome back to beautiful Bruce Bochy Field here on the campus of Eastern Florida. As the Panthers of Palm Beach State lead the hometown Titans 5-1 as we enter the top of the sixth. Thanks for joining us. Eric Kohler alongside my friend Jim Tarabokia. And really a big inning there for Gio Ariara, the starting pitcher for Palm Beach State. Looked like he was in some trouble to get Ian Acevedo and Jacob McFadden to get those big outs there in the bottom of the fifth. That was huge for Palm Beach State.
Well, and at the same time, I think you mentioned it during the break, and you made a great point that he seemed to get stronger as the game moved along. If he is finished, I think he did a fabulous job here tonight, working out of that jam, only allowing a run, stopping the bleeding back in the 3rd inning, and being able to hold Eastern Florida State College scoreless the next 2. Very nice job tonight by Ariara.
Now that's a great point. As many runs that come in, as you said, 150 runs. Obviously now we added 151 on the season to average over 9 runs a game so far in 16 games. Pretty special. But again, right there, the Titans had an opportunity to cash them in, and they had their players. They had their monsters at the plate to cash in. As we're in the top of the 6th inning, this is catcher for Palm Beach State, Drexler Makaye. He had a single in the 4th inning. Nobody on, nobody out, full count. Right at the second baseman, should be routine, and it is not. Kind of a lazy play there to kind of swing it around there. And that's an error there, and then gets the advance. Number 2, Jason Cornell. That was a routine ground ball, and just kind of slings it across, Jim. Take a look at this. You can't let this happen at this level.
Not sure what happened. Got in front of it, scooped well, probably got a bad grip on the baseball. I don't think a bad grip, short arming it over to first is not a terrible thing to do, but I think he got a bad grip of the baseball, and I think that's what caused it to sail. I saw a little fiddle in the glove, and I think that's what maybe caused the bad grip and the bad throw.
Well, you never know. It looked like his just bad technique right there as a bunt attempt goes a foul.
Speaking of bad technique, again, stabbing at the baseball. Just use your legs. That pitch was right down Broadway. They're giving you an out. Rather, I should say, they're giving you a pitch to hit. Drop down the bunt, use your legs, get it down. Right now, it looks as though both corner infielders are charging, so you want to try to drop it down to the left side of the infield because the wheel play might be on.
Much better there to advance the runner to the 3rd. And really late on the play, and the runner will be safe at first base. Schwimmer squares up that time better and gets down low as you like to see it, Jim. Makes a good hustle down the first ace, and just like that, 1st and 3rd with no outs.
Well, it looks like a double clutch, too, by the pitcher. Cornell was a little bit late getting over to first base as well. Here's the bunt. It's a pretty good one, a bounding bunt, if you will. It was gloved. There's the double clutch, and the reason for the double clutch is because Cornell was late getting over to first base. There's no excuse for that because the wheel play is on, meaning that both corner infielders are charging. The shortstop heads over to 3rd, second baseman over to 1st. That's his job. Head over to first base. He was late getting over there, and he was in his normal position, so there's really no excuse for it.
Well, and again, unforced errors. You can see here.
It's a good angle here. Look how late in the picture Cornell gets. See that? Look how late he is getting into your picture, right in the middle of the screen. Way too late, especially with a guy with speed coming out of the box.
And those are back-to-back plays defensively for number 2 that just made the earlier error. That will be ruled a base hit for Derek Schwimmer. But again, this will be unearned, the runner at 3rd base, and that's number 4, Drexler Makaye. But again, 2 back-to-back defensive plays by Jason Cornell at 2nd base. And, to be honest with you, Kaiser's actually done a pretty good job. Kaiser's done a good job on the mound, but he just has not been helped out defensively here. Cornell has been pulled out of the game by Kyle Edler, defensively, a freshman at Orlando, Florida. And that's a good call by Coach Tam. You just cannot do that, especially on back-to-back plays, as Ian tries to chase toward the dugout to no success there. The ball goes out of play. But again, that second play, though, Jim, as much as you covered and played baseball, as much as I've played some baseball, that's not a good look for Ian. That's not a good look at all. Ian Acevedo goes down, is reaching for his left ankle, tries to make a good hustle play, and that is not what the doctor ordered for the Titans.
So they're looking at his calf. We never like to speculate here. Maybe an ankle.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit of a lip, if you notice.
Yeah.
On both sides, the third base and first base side, right outside the bag and a little bit beyond the line. And maybe he started to stumble coming down. No, I think he might have. I think he actually hit his shin or somewhere around his knee area on that wooden bench when he slid into the dugout when the cleats hit the concrete.
And that's not good. A couple players are up to warm up, and that's not a good look on Ian, because I know how much and how passionate he is for this game. And just to get started in conference play, one of your superstars goes down on a hustle play, trying to make a play on a foul ball. And you can see the difference of the effort there for Ian, and then Cornell gets pulled out of the game for the lack thereof.
Here it is again. Let's see if he slips or...
Just kind of
Yeah, he
lands
slips.
funny.
He actually slipped a little bit and then twisted his left ankle, it appears. So
Yeah.
he never ran into the bench. He actually slipped on the warning track for whatever reason, losing his footing, and then he twisted that left ankle.
Yep.
Oh.
But the biggest thing is it looked like the way his foot got caught up. It's one of those things like in football, you catch the turf, and then your leg doesn't give away, and then you'll have a replacement at third base. So that'll be a big story we'll have to keep our eyes on. Our thoughts go out to Ian Acevedo, just one of the star players for Coach Tam's Titans.
And now you lose
You
a,
hate to see that on a play that was out of play.
and you lose a guy, too, who can swing the bat.
So here we go, back to action. Top of the order. Palm Beach State's not going away. They're trying to add to their 4-run lead. Ball's fouled out of bounds. Fouled out of play, I should say, down the third baseline. And you just hate to see that for a play. He just went, the way he went down from the replay, it just looked like his left foot caught, and there was no give there.
And that, a lot of times, too, will be a knee injury. We never like to speculate, but that causes knee injuries as well. So our best going out to Acevedo.
And that brings in at third base number 9. He comes in place of Acevedo, Spinnenweber, freshman out of Rockledge, Florida. So he comes in and takes the place of number 14 at the hot corner at third base. 5-1 your score if you're just joining us, top of the 6th. Titans have had some opportunities at the plate, but a great strikeout there by Kaiser as he mows down Matt Morales.
Yeah, J.P. Williams, now Eric in the bullpen. You start to wonder here how much longer Kaiser is going to go.
Yeah. And again, both these runners at first and third were essentially based on the error play by number 2, Cornell, which has been pulled out of the game in place of Kyle Edler, number 28, freshman out of Orlando, Florida. First and third, 1 out, top of the 6th. Conference action. Second conference game for both of these teams. Again, Kaiser needs to work out of a jam here. Runner goes. Throw to second. Very good throw, but just on the inside. Good running play for the runner to get on the outside of the tag. He is safe, so now second and third.
Yeah, pretty good throw, but throw died a little bit getting to second base. Good speed as well. See the replay. Yeah, it was a pitch on the inner half of the plate or off the inside corner. Tough pitch to handle, and it looks like Gordy struggled with the transfer just a little bit. Anytime you have a pitch like that, Eric, when you have to bring the glove across the body like that, trying to get the transfer, especially with a fast runner, the throw is not always going to be very accurate, and sometimes it's not going to be all that strong in terms of velocity, and that was the case right there.
Derek Schwimmer gets his third stolen base of the season. He'll be now at second base. And they have runners at second and third. Good pitch there by Kaiser. At the plate right now for Palm Beach State. In the 2-hole, that's Balin Sparks. This is his 4th plate appearance. Takes us high and away inside. That'll be ball 4, just like that. Bases are loaded And really not to the fault too much of Kaiser. He's coming and done pretty good work. He got kind of unlucky with a big play in left corner. And that looks like that's going to get the hook for Coach Tam, though. As right now, they got to get this double play to get out of this jam to keep the lead at 4. So a little break in the action right here. Thanks for dialing us in here. Bases will be loaded, top of the 6th inning. That'll be it right there for Tyler Kaiser, freshman pitcher out of Orlando, Florida. We'll take a seat. And there's Coach Tam comes in, gets some words of encouragement. And we'll have to check the player that comes in here. It's a relief appearance, 5-1 your score in favor of the Panthers of Palm Beach State. And it'll be number 12 that comes in relief. It's J.P. Williams, pitcher, another local product, a freshman out of Melbourne, Florida. Let's get a look at J.P. So when you come in these type of situations, what's your mindset got to be? The whole house is on fire, bases loaded, you're down by 4. What do you got to do here?
Well, quite frankly, as we take a look at the replay of this stolen base, see how the throw kind of died there at the end. Got there on time, somewhat, but good slide, too, to the back part of the base as well, to the outfield side, with the throw dying, of course. But to answer your question, Eric, I believe that with these guys, they're told in the winter before they head for home for Christmas break or the holiday break, I beg your pardon, that they know what their roles are. So they have about a month to prepare before the season mentally for the role they're going to be in. That's the situation here with Williams. He knows his role. He's a reliever. He's a guy who might come in these type of situations with your team down, bases loaded, and you need to get a couple of big outs and make a couple of big pitches. So to me, mentally, he should be prepared for this, and he should not be worrying at all.
J.P. Williams got a lot on his plate right here. Comes in, they already trail by 4 runs, bases loaded for the visiting Panthers. And this is a young man at the plate right now, number 3, James Buckley, that hit that big double, perfect double in the left corner that McFadden could not do and get to, that drove in 2 RBIs. And that is something right here, very, very dangerous and precarious situation for the Titans, but see if J.P. Williams can shut the door. Pitch. And that ball's out of play. Again, if you're just joining us, one of the star players for Coach Tam, Ian Acevedo, was kind of following one of those foul balls the same side down that third base. Got his foot caught up near the dugout. So hopefully we can get a report and hope that he is okay, as this is the biggest part of the schedule, Jim, in conference. 0-2. Big play for JP to try to get the K here. Oh, so close, doesn't get the call. But I like the work there for Cordy to call that, for J.P. Williams just coming in the game to try to work the inside and get that call.
Duran right now deep in right field, a very strong arm as we saw earlier, getting the outfield assist, throwing a runner out at the plate.
Oh, another pitch. Good look right there. I mean, you're hoping out of 2 of those calls you get the call, but low and away, so even count. 2-2, 1 down.
It just goes to show you, too, how good of a hitter Buckley is and how good of an eye he really has.
Good frame out pitcher, 2-2. JP steps off the rubber. Very important part of the game here. Titans can ill afford to go down by more than 4 runs.
1 out. I'm a little bit curious as to why down 5-1 middle infielders are back.
Ball gets away from Cordy, and a run scores. 6-1 your count. Coming across the dish is number 4, Drexler McKaya.
And Cordy frustrated right there. And that's a ball that he certainly is talented enough to be able to slide to his left and smother. Now it doesn't really matter, to my point earlier with runners at second and third, but with the bases loaded, I get playing for the double play. But again, you're down 5-1. You've got a guy up there right now in Buckley who has great speed, so there's a good chance you're not going to double him up. I'm not really sure why the infielders were not up. Now they come up to the cut of the grass here. You have to stop that run from scoring, now down 6-1.
So full count, 3-2. Wrap to right field. That drops in for a base hit. And another run scores as Derek Schwimmer crosses the plate, making it 7-1.
How good of a hitter is Buckley? I mean, that was a pitch right down the middle.
You're right.
And he, as you said, put it perfectly, just wrapped it right into right field. He has such a simple swing. You know, this was a guy that was 5'9", 160 pounds coming out of high school. He's put on muscle, and he's gotten a little bit faster. And with that bat that he has, a quick bat through the zone, he's got that slight uppercut. College coaches at the next level of Division I baseball love a guy like that because he's got that short swing and he can hit any pitch that's virtually thrown to him. And he has really matured as a player here in the last year or so.
Brings up Swinley Lint. And to your point, you know, Buckley has really taken some daggers at the Titans. Timely hits in the 6th and the 4th inning. J.P. Williams trying to avoid any further damage here. And you kind of feel for J.P. Williams coming already, like I said, as the house is on fire. You're trying to put out the house fire. And he was up 0-2 on Buckley. And Buckley, to your point, Jim, keeps swinging away, staying alive. And bam, just like that, they add 2 more runs. Runner goes from first to second, kind of a late throw. And the ball comes loose. And the runner from third is going to take it to home. And he scores. Everything going right for the Panthers, everything going wrong for the Titans. And that makes your count 8-1. And again, Cordy, you can see right there, face says it all.
Yeah, having a rough inning, let that pass ball, which, well, it should have been a pass ball. I'm not sure what it was scored, but he let that go by to the backstop, allowing a run to score. That throw went through. It should have been really cut off, at least closer to the mound. Give yourself an opportunity. I mean, Palm Beach State right there with runners at first and third doing the obvious, trying to steal and get that extra run, seeing where the throw was going to go through. Good base running, being patient over there at third, seeing where the throw was going to go, and then darting for the plate.
Great analogy there, and just like that, 7-run differential, 8-1 your score, top of the 6th. Runner on second, 1 out. Lent with a shot, good play at the corner. Nice line drive out there. Is coming in. It's a great play there defensively by number 9. Spinner-Weber out of Rockledge. Talk about that hot corner. That's exactly what you got right there. 2 outs.
Hot corner, Eric, you're exactly right. Fresh off the bench. Good start position. It's a good play right there.
Sure
snaring
is.
it out of the air.
And the reason why he's there, again, Acevedo went down with an injury, chasing down a foul ball. Big shot there between right and center. That'll drop in, and another run will score. 9-1 for Palm Beach State. The floodgates are open to this point in the top of the 6th.
Well, you knew these guys coming in. We talked about it in the open, that these guys can hit. We said it in the onset. But watching these guys now in person, it seems like no matter where you throw it,
Yeah.
they're still going to hit it, and they're going to hit it hard. This is an impressive offense of the Panthers.
Tonight they are on. That brings up Ricky Gonzalez. You can see the shot, just perfect crease in the defense between right and center. Drops in. 9-1 your count, top of the 6th. 2 outs. Cordy tries to catch him at first. And again, that's a little overzealous when you're down by 8 runs. You just got to focus on getting that 3rd out and ending the 6th inning.
Cordy probably can't wait for this inning to be over. Talked about it earlier. You want to have a forgetful memory, if you will. In baseball, Cordy has to have that. Short-term memory, so key in the game of baseball at any level.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the broadcast, is that you just, in life, you just cannot dwell on stuff. You know, if it's, everyone's going to make mistakes in sports, you got to move forward. The more you hold on to it, the more it's going to come back and bite you. 2 outs, top of the 6th. J.P. Williams trying to work himself out of here. He already came into this inning in a pickle with bases loaded. He hasn't helped himself right here. Again, this is, I'm sure that Coach Tam is beside himself, as this is a very good ball club. And sometimes you have nights like this, but the fact is you got to hold your head up. There's a lot of baseball to be played tonight, but you got to get out of this inning, Jim. Runner on first, 2 outs. J.P. Williams facing Ricky Gonzalez. Outside. 3-1 your count. See Ricky Gonzalez, good shot at him. Getting the signs from his first base coach. Got to think the runner's maybe going to go here. He fouls it away, now we get a full count.
And now the runner will be off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. These hitters for Palm Beach State putting together great at-bats here tonight. Seems like everybody in the lineup tonight has been a tough out for the pitching staff of Eastern Florida State College.
Big hit there, goes foul down the first base line. A big old hack at it, that one.
Yeah, and at the same time, too, he didn't over-rotate with that back hip. He just sprayed it foul, getting another pitch here.
Full count, 2 outs, top of the 6. 9-1 your count in favor of Palm Beach State. Second conference game for both these teams. Gets him. That's a strikeout that was needed, but a little late there, as now the margin is 8 runs. 8 runs in favor of the visiting Panthers. 9-1 your count. But we're glad to have you with us. Remember, we're going to be back here on WEFS-TV this coming Thursday. And another opportunity, obviously, for Coach Tam. Obviously, this game's got a lot of innings to be played here. But just to notate for your viewing schedule, it's going to be this Thursday. Believe it or not, today is the last day of February. Thursday, March the 2nd, conference play against Broward College. And it'll be a 6 p.m. first pitch. Tonight was a 5 p.m., so mark it down to get in on those DVRs. 6 p.m. first pitch this Thursday, March the 2nd. Your Titans in continued action here on WEFS-TV. Well, Jim, it's glad to have you. I wish you'd be in better circumstance. I'm really hopefully concerned for Coach Tam and Ian Acevedo. What a great shot there, the moon there. At least the moon's smiling at us at this point. And just want to see what's going on here with the 4-5 combination. Let's take a look back with the truck. But that's just a great shot as the light's coming out here.
Great swing by Buckley. Good line drive.
Just good fundamental baseball right there. They take advantage of their opportunities, Jim, and you know, the fact is the opportunities for the Titans have been there. You know, bases loaded in the 3rd, and then they had some stuff going in the 5th inning. They had their number 2, number 3 hitter, and Ian Jacob, and couldn't get anything going. So, you know, sometimes you have one of those nights, but the fact of the matter is when you're these type of games here, you're at home, you're in front of the hometown team. You gotta be, you gotta fight for some pride, for that Titan pride.
Remember earlier when I compared Ariara to the late, great Jose Fernandez?
Yes, sir.
That swing right there by Buckley reminded me a lot of one Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
With the quick hands,
quick
the
hands,
short swing,
and
how
the power.
quick the bat gets through the zone. He's a good player.
Yeah, that's a good analogy right there. And Bryce Harper of the Nationals, they're at their new home with the Houston Astros down at West Palm Beach. A lot of people may not known that longtime Astros stadium voice for several years, and also with the Nationals over at Space Coast Stadium. And go figure, both those teams moved down south. And I wish them both well in that new facility. But the Astros and Nationals gave me great opportunities. I wish them well going forward. Here we go, bottom of the 6. 2-0 count here for Sammy Duran. There you go, Sammy. That's how you fight back. Sammy had a great opportunity in that 3rd. Very close. Great hustle play to get to second base. I like that. You're down by 8. It doesn't matter. You keep fighting.
Well, there was also a slide in center field, right center field, I should say, as well. And seeing that, he was able to round second and get himself, I beg your pardon, he was able to get around first and get to second base, because by the time that Dangetti was able to get to his feet, see here how he slid, and see how much he slid?
Oh, yeah.
He got to his feet and then lobbed the throw in, and by that time, he was already 3/4 of the way to second base. Good base running, as you said.
Well, I mean, just great energy, great passion for the game to not hang your head. Sammy Duran, that energy and effort gets you to second base. Here we go. Ian Lyle, your DH. See if Ian can get things going. He had a single in the second. Good shot at Ian Lyle, another sophomore sensation for Coach Tam's crew. Shot at number 16, and Sammy tries to go to third base. He's getting aggressive. I think he could have had it. Gio was actually looked at him, was kind of surprised, like, really?
Well, again, I'm not sure what the point of that is. You mean nothing right there at second base.
Yeah.
You're down 9-1.
Yeah,
You got to get as many base runners as you can.
Let him go. Back to first base, shallow pop out.
That's a risk for a base runner.
Yeah, right.
Stay close to the bag. Don't try to steal third. Don't try to take too much of what's given. Just take the opportunity for what it is. Again, down 9-1, you don't mean anything except if you score. So the last thing that you need right now, if you're Eastern Florida State College, you see, why is he almost halfway towards third? It doesn't make any sense. If you're the Titans here, you have to get some runs back. You need base runners.
Yeah, and if you could see in that shot, Coach Tam is now at first base. He was like, what are you doing? Well, you know what? Sammy's trying to come in and try to be the energizer for the Titans, so you can't fault him on that. Dylan Owens at the plate for the Titans now. 0-1 count, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. They trail 9-1 in conference play. Sammy Duran at second base. Sammy looks like he's trying to get to that third base. That'll be a high fly ball, the right field, a lot of real estate out there, and that will be in and out of the hands. And you can see right there with that shot right there of how much acreage there is. When you hit a foul ball, you know, you go to some parks, the fans are right on you. Here, it's in play. You can see Coach Tam right there. Yeah, I love his passion, getting to know Coach Tam. You know, it's he's a true baseball player, man. He's got that grit. Look at this. Look at all the space out here.
Long run.
Great effort. Just couldn't make the play.
Schwimmer diving, having it pop right out of his glove.
Yep, Derek Schwimmer, number 1 right fielder for Palm Beach State. That could have been dangerous right there. Those ones goes right there, a zinger inside the dugout of Palm Beach State. Luckily, everyone's okay. That's how quickly things can happen.
I'm sorry, Eric. I'm starting to wonder here how much longer Gio is going to go out there on the mound. There were guys warming up in the bullpen a couple of innings ago, even up to last inning as well. We're not seeing that here in this inning, so now I begin to wonder if he may go, if he can retire these next 2 hitters fairly quickly, if he may go another inning after this one.
I think it's a great point because you know, your margin's 8 runs, and you know, maybe you want to get him some work. This is conference play. I get that.
Well, and it comes a time, too.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, he could easily have 4 quality starts. In theory, he does. Statistically, he doesn't because of those mercy rule games where he only threw about 3 1/3, 3 2/3. Now's the time, conference play, where you can stretch him out, as you said, go 7 innings, go 8 innings.
Ground ball to second base should be routine. It is. Owens gets out number 2. Sammy Duran finally gets over to third base where he's been yearning for so long to get over there.
Good productive out, but again, doesn't really mean much. Down 9-1. I think Eastern Florida State College, they need a long ball here badly, and they need to score in bunches, score in chunks. The problem is Ariara is doing a great job out there on the mound. He's not allowing that to happen. Good productive out, getting the runner over to third base.
Good routine play, out number 2. Bottom of the 6th. First plate appearance tonight for number 28, Kyle Edler. Came in relief of injured Ian Acevedo. This will be his 12th plate appearance. He has 1 run and 1 hit and 1 RBI on the year. Let's see what Kyle Edler can do to maybe cash in Sammy Duran. Ball goes high and away. 2-0 the count, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th.
Overall, it's been an impressive performance, I think, by Gio Ariara. I mean, here's a guy who has a lot of talent, that giddy up on the fastball. He mixes in his off-speed pitches very, very well. To me, tonight, this has been one of his best starts of the year, getting more extended as we move along here throughout the game. And he's still bringing that fastball. It's still popping into the mitt. He's hitting in spots. He had that one inning where he struggled just a little bit. But this guy is a real good pitcher on the mound. He is a grinder. He's also a gamer.
Edler takes ball 3. And Jim, I think it's a great point because he came in tonight with 27 strikeouts. He has 4 Ks, and he ran into a couple innings. He got in some trouble, but it seemed like he got stronger. And I'm sure that scouts and guys are looking at that next level as Edler takes ball 4 to get to first. So it'll be first and third. But the fact is with Gio, it's just that's what you want to see with that leg kick and the torque and all that good jazz that you like about a pitcher.
And you mentioned the 27 strikeouts. Here's a guy in high school who his senior year had 109 strikeouts. Yes, that looks good to scouts, but sometimes maybe you start to think to yourself, well, is he just throwing as hard as he can out there? Does he not have any finesse on the mound?
Reckless abandon.
Exactly. And tonight he shows that he has a lot of finesse out there on the mound. As you said, doesn't have the reckless abandon. And I think, again, this is a guy who is a grinder, a gamer, hits his spots, doesn't try to overdo it, and he's a talented pitcher.
Absolutely. Already came into the game a 4-0 mark. He now has 31 strikeouts. He's a little bit of a pickle here, though, but he's got a big cushion in his favor. 8 runs, that is, as they lead 9-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and third for the Titans. You'd like to see if the Titans could get something going here. And especially with Jeff Cordy at the dish right now, only the 2nd game this year.
Mentioned that the Nationals and the Astros moving ballparks. Well, the Nationals were playing today, and Joe Nathan was pitching for them. It's kind of full circle for them in terms of the Nationals with Joe Nathan. His first manager ever in professional baseball was Dusty Baker, who is now his current manager.
I'll be darned.
He actually came up as a starting pitcher, and a lot of times you think of guys who have switched like Nathan and maybe going back a ways, and John Smoltz going from starter to a closer. There's a different routine, and people ask, what's the routine like? Well, it's becoming more finesse as a starting pitcher and going out there in the 9th inning as a closer or as a reliever in an 8th inning type hold situation and throwing as hard as you can, hitting your spots, but throwing as hard as you can and giving it your all out there on the mound. There's a fine line. It's easier said than done, but becoming a finesse pitcher is not easy, but that's exactly what Ariara is.
There you go, Jeff Cordy. Nice base wrap there. Sammy Duran crosses the plate to get the 2nd run. And Jeff Cordy's got to feel good about that, Jim, in terms of kind of his defensive struggles that last inning. And right there, hey, we're going to have a little pinch runner here too, but good piece of hitting for Cordy. And that'll be number 23 coming to the game. Anthony Martinez, sophomore out of Melbourne, Florida, will take Cordy's place. And a good base wrap there to get an RBI. Jeff Cordy will check out of the game. And again, number 23, Martinez, will check in as a pinch runner at first. 9-2 now your count, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. See if Navarro here, number 16, can do some more damage. And again, as you said earlier, you're high on Gio, but the fact is, what is Coach Forbes going to do in this situation? Does he get the hook if he doesn't get this out? One-0 count to Navarro. Oh, that was a hanging pitch. You got to take a swing on that one right there. That was a hanging pitch right there. You could have gone yard.
Though at the same time, too, if you're not expecting that and you're guessing up there and you're saying, I want a fastball in the inner half, I think that's where he's going to go.
Sure.
And he gives you a breaking ball in the outer half. Just let it go by. Take the strike. You're still in a pretty good hitter's count at 1-1. He had a good hack, though, at that breaking pitch. A lot of these pitches here in the last couple of hitters have been left up, whether it be the fastball from Gio or the breaking pitch. And with Cordy, that base hit to left field. That was a curveball that was left up belt high. Inside out swing, got the barrel to the baseball and went the other way with it.
Here we go, Navarro facing a 1-2 count. Got to protect the plate. High and away, evens the count. Twos are wild. 2 down, bottom of the 6th. Titans finally punched a ticket to get their second run. They trail now by 7. Be a great opportunity for Navarro to kind of cash a couple more in. Way outside. So a full count here with 2 outs. Runner should be going there. Coach Tam there from third base calling out instructions. And on deck is number 25 for your Titans. A good look, Coach Tam. He's always into the game. I love his passion. Full count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Got him. Great piece of pitching right there. 5th strikeout on Navarro for Gio. And that goes down. 9 to your count. We've played 6 innings. And again, Jim, you got to think that's probably the last time we see Gio Arriara. Let's check this out right here. Let's go back to the truck and take a look at this. Full count.
Elevated fastball. Late life to it. And a swing and a miss.
Took him on high gas to join him up on the elevator and got him. But again, it's just the storyline so far is Palm Beach State has cashed in on their opportunities. Titans have been unable to do so. And it looks like we'll have a new pitcher for the Titans. It'll be a freshman at a nearby Palm Bay, Florida. That'll be number 30. Tanner Leventer comes in to pitch for the Titans. There's a good look at Tanner. He's had some limited work this season. And you come in this situation, he's played in 5 games. You come in this situation, what are you looking for Coach Tam here? Just try to get some quality innings to see if how these guys react in situational baseball.
Get some guys some work.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Down 9-2, you obviously want to try to come back in this game, but keep guys fresh and get them some work here.
Well, again, this is a situation that conference play, a lot of games to be played. And again, the Titans, you know, whether or not what happens in this game, they don't have a lot of time to reflect on it. They get to get back to work. They have a day off tomorrow, and then they're back in action right here in Bruce Bochy Field against Broward College. That's another conference game, 6 o'clock, and that will be televised here on WEFS-TV. So again, it's one of these things, you have a lot of baseball to be played. Sometimes things like this happen, but the most important storyline that we want to talk about off the field is we want to talk about hopefully that Ian Acevedo, the star third baseman for Coach Tam's group, that he is okay. And again, as you said, Jim, you can't speculate on something like that. At first, it looked like it went for his ankle and his calf, but sometimes you get that torque. You know, when the leg doesn't give, that's where the next thing you got to go. It's got to go to the knee. But there's a good look at Kyle Forbes right now. He's got to be feeling good about himself coming up on the road.
You know, we mentioned how good the Panthers are hitting here tonight. Talking with head coach Kyle Forbes before the game, I asked him, I said, why are you guys hitting so well? What's your opinion here? And he told me, we're just spraying the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
What have they done here tonight? They've sprayed the ball all over the field. That's been their ingredient for success, one of their ingredients for their success here tonight.
Well, top of the 7th inning, good look at center fielder number 5, Joey Donju. And defensively behind the dish, staying in the game for your Titans, is number 23. He'll make the pitch counts. That's Anthony Martinez. Good opportunity for the sophomore out of Melbourne, Florida. And the new pitcher is Tanner Leventer, freshman out of Palm Bay, Florida. It's a good look at Martinez right there. You can see that he opts to have the red skull cap there. Sometimes you think that's by design. Good look by our camera crew right there. Everyone has a little bit of different flavor. Baseball players are some of the superstitious kind. And a good piece of hitting right there to start the 7th inning for Palm Beach State. Just like you said earlier, they keep chipping away another base hit.
Wendrick going right back up the box. Wiry, strong type player.
Yeah.
Pitch on the outer half and didn't try to do too much with it. That's what these hitters do so well, is that they don't overswing. They go right back up the middle, as Wendrick did right there. As you take a look at the bullpen here, guys loosening, getting ready to possibly come in.
Yeah, James Reynolds, number 17, was shown warming up earlier, but then Gio, starting pitcher, got his stuff together and stayed in. There's a good look at James Reynolds, freshman right-hand pitcher. He's came in and pitched 5.2 innings. Top of the 7th inning, 9-2 your score in favor of the visiting Panthers. Conference action here. This is the conference home opener for your hometown Titans. 0-2 count. Low and away, nothing doing. 1-2, runner on first base. Eric Kohler alongside Jim Tarabokia. Tell you what, it's been great working with you.
Same to you, my friend.
Great insight of all the games you and I both covered. Ball squirts through, gets to the second base, but a little bad luck there, in and out of the hands. Number 28, Kyle Edler. It looks like he made a good play on the outstretched part of the infield, but as he tries to make the play, he kind of scooted it forward that worked against him, and that allowed the runner for Palm Beach State to get to third base. And now they're cooking right here in the top of the 7th again. Second and third. Let's take a look at what just happened there, Jim.
Well, when it rains, it pours, right? Good effort here, good dive, but it just squirted right out of the glove into foul territory. Nothing going right here tonight for the Titans.
Second and third, nobody out, top of the 7th. Trail by 7. At the plate now is right fielder Derek Schwimmer. He had a single bunt back in the 6th and a single in the 4th. And he's also got a stolen base. But again, from top to bottom, Jim, you talked about it earlier in the broadcast, is that today it looks like Palm Beach State has their mojo, that everybody in the lineup is contributing. And again, this is the first of many games between these teams. They're going to play 7 times, including tonight. And I'm sure that the drama is only going to increase between these ball clubs, because when you play that many times each other, that you kind of get that little rivalry at the NJCAA level.
Well, I think you're exactly right. These two teams, there's a rivalry there, but they're also very evenly matched. And sometimes when you play that many times, 7 times, you're going to have a lopsided loss on one side and a lopsided win, in this case for Palm Beach State, on the other. But again, these two teams are very evenly matched, and they're going to have a lot of good matchups down the line.
Great hit right there over the third base. 2 runs will score. And Schwimmer gets a double. He is safe at the plate. And just like that, it is 11-2. Smiles abound for the Panthers. They head into the dugout. And Schwimmer gets his 3rd hit, and most importantly, 2 RBIs for the right fielder.
A lot of top spin right there on that baseball.
Yep.
Hopping right into left field.
Top of the order, talented Matt Morales. This will be his 5th plate appearance this evening. Nobody out, top of the 7th. Pitch low inside, doesn't get the call, 1-0. Reynolds continues to work as they prep to get to the bottom of the 7th. But right now, the Titans got to get out of this inning. There's a strike right there, evens the count, 1-1. 9-run differential in favor of the Panthers. Top of the 7th, runner on second base.
You see how dangerous this Panthers offense is here tonight, Eric, scoring in bunches.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in spread out fashion.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing power baseball. They're just hitting situational baseball, and they're hitting their gaps. It really sums it up, is the double that James Buckley that you talked about, that you think that he has some good talent, was that double that he hit in the 4th inning, the way the wind was blowing out in that left corner, just almost placing the ball there to get those 2 RBIs. I think that was really kind of the swing factor of this game where the floodgates kind of opened up in favor of the Panthers tonight.
And kind of illustrates, too, perfect ball placement right down the line. It illustrates the night for the Panthers. Everything clicking.
Way high, left fielder calls him off. Good call to do so. It's a good call by McFadden there. Good look at Jacob. Another sophomore sensation for Coach Tam. He's got a bright future ahead. One out here, top of the 7th. And again, if you're going to have one of these games, from my standpoint, as calling this many games, have it early in your conference season. So you can go back to the drawing board, learn from this, and move forward. See right there, very dangerous though. Infielder comes in there. Jacob kind of looks him off like, hey man, I got this.
We talked about it earlier. It's a lot easier to come in rather than go back, and that same rule applies to the infielders as well. Back on the angle, tough play for any shortstop. And a good job by McFadden circling in towards the line to make the catch.
See, next up in our bullpen's number 31. This goes sideways. Good dugout cam right there by our crew. I love these camera angles. Crew does a great job here at WEFS. They get out here and put a lot of hours to stage this and set it. So they put a lot of long hours. We appreciate you guys. Team effort. Top of the 7th. 11-2 your count. Panthers at the plate. 1-2 count. And this is Balin Sparks. And that's Scarlin Perez that is warming up. And strike 3. They got to throw it to first. That's out number 2. Much needed there. Scarlin Perez is a freshman out of Dominican Republic. Sometimes you have number changes at this level. But I do like that dugout cam. Good strikeout there. That brings up number 3, James Buckley. He's had some good productive innings in the 4th and the 6th, Jim. Tries to lay off. The ball gets loose. Runner cannot advance. So top of the 7th. 2 down now. Runners on second for the Panthers.
Looks like he may have went that time.
Yep. Ball got away.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that John Levine, the home plate umpire, didn't call it a strike.
That was good. They took some ball off there. Good pitch there. Gets Buckley to chase that. There's a good shot, the young man. Tanner out of Palm Bay. Even count. 1-1, 2 down. A little outside, 2-1.
Mentioned that Buckley is a guy who Division I coaches would really like just based off how he plays. He's also an excellent student.
That's a good pitch right there. He's working it right there. Martinez is calling him in.
And I think also, too, looking at James Buckley, he's a smart player out there. And right there, that's a pitch. That's an example of it. Letting that pitch go by, getting the pitch that he wants to hit rather than something that he would dribble out to
Did he get it?
Shortstop.
Ah. Casey Sanchez says he didn't go. That's a full count. What you think about there? Did he break his wrists?
Not that time.
No,
I think a couple of pitches ago he did, but not that time.
Well, Sanchez right there, you can see in the right corner of our view right there, has a great look at it. Full count, 2 outs. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts. Little damage was done, though, for Palm Beach State. Good look at the dugout cam right there. It's 11-2. 9-run differential in favor of Palm Beach State. And bottom of the 7th. What do you try to hammer out here if you're Coach Tim?
1 run at a time as we are going back to the strikeout here of Buckley. Good pitch right there on the outer half. Sometimes it's tough for a left-handed hitter when a guy out there on the mound, a big lefty, might have something that resembles a 3/4 arm slot, and Buckley just letting that fastball go by.
Well, Gio Arriara has finally been pulled from the game. In relief of Palm Beach State is number 17, James Reynolds, freshman right-hand pitcher. He's made 5 appearances, 5.2 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. That's a good look at Reynolds. He's kind of been, they had him up out in the pen a couple separate times, but Gio would settle back down, that Reynolds would go sit down.
No pressure here for Reynolds, getting an opportunity to come in and what is a very lopsided game, get his work in. Keep things simple as a pitcher at this point. Look at how dangerous, Eric, this Panthers team really is offensively, but now we're going to get a chance to see how good their relievers have the chance to be and how complete of a team they really are.
I love that dugout cam right there. That's a new feature this season. Hope you guys are enjoying it with us out there. You can see there the top of the orders leading out in the bottom of the 7th. That brings out your center fielder number 25, Sebastian Rivera. Good look at the Bruce Bochy scoreboard. Wish we could flip those numbers for you, but it is what it is right now. A lot of baseball to be played. Here we go, Sebastian Rivera. Let's see what you can do here in the bottom of the 7th. Clean slate, trailing 11-2. Kind of bad footwork right there. Rivera will be on first. Kind of bottled up the shortstop right there.
Yeah, and if you're Morales, instead of shuffling over to the hole, what you really want to do is you want to turn that right foot. You want to take a couple of steps, scamper that way, pick it up with the backhand outside of the left foot, quickly set your feet and sling it over to first. When you shuffle like that, not only are you taking time, but you're also losing footing. So really what you want to do, just pivot, scamper over, get it with the backhand, and quickly release it to first.
First plate appearance from number 9, Gavin Spinneweber. I just wish that we could get a camera inside of the booth here of all that action you did right there, the torquing in there. That was pretty good.
I like that, yeah.
That was like a little Tom Amansky video right inside the press box here.
Well, I always enjoy good pivoting.
You can't fault a man with a good pivot.
Yes.
Bottom of the 7th. No outs, runner on first for your Titans. Good look there, Rivera. Gets himself a single as Reynolds comes in relief. Starting pitcher for Palm Beach State, Gio Arriara. And right to Reynolds. Ooh, almost overthrows first base, but gets the out. Gets a runner to second base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting, number 10, Jacob McFadden.
Jacob McFadden. This is a young man that I think really has a bright future. He had some opportunities. I know he's going to go back and look at the tape to see that had some opportunities in the 3rd and the 5th. But in baseball, he knows the drill. He wants to go on and play the next level, and I think he's got all the skill. Let's see if he can get himself right here. Has a walk and 2 Ks tonight. There you go, Jacob McFadden. If he catches the wind. Oh, they take each other out. Jacob McFadden, you hope the defender's okay. Run will score, and a triple for Jacob McFadden, just right on cue. Maybe he's got that little earpiece in for part of the broadcast, but that's a dangerous situation right there. McFadden gets a triple, but again, both outfielders just completely full speed. Nobody's talking at the warning track, and you hate to see that, especially after such a great effort play by McFadden to finally get out of the funk here. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, the outfielders angling towards the alleyway. No communication really, and they collide. Jacob McFadden right there getting RBI number 22, nearly had home run number 5.
Yeah.
A guy who's now hit safely in 15 of 16 games. We talked about his power earlier.
Yeah.
And when he gets good wood, or in this case, good aluminum, in what was a fastball, he can hit it a long way.
Yeah, let's check it out. The shaking up player, there's James Buckley.
You see how the hips came through, hips leading the hands, clearing the way for the hands, and that good bat quickness. A pitch that was really over the inner third, a fastball, and he ripped it in the gap. I'm a little bit surprised that it, actually I thought off the bat that it was out of here. I'm a little bit surprised that it didn't get out, but even with that, Good piece of hitting by McFadden, his 5th double of the year. And this is a guy who we really haven't talked about much here today, but he, as you said, he has a ton of talent.
Yeah, the left fielder and the center fielder, they just did not communicate and came in under, kind of getting undercut was James Buckley, the left fielder. But you got to kind of talk it off right there. That's the center fielder right there, number 5, Joey Donju. But lucky nobody got really hurt there. They're talking about it and shaking it off right now. But that was one of the situations when Buckley was down at the warning track. You never want to see somebody go down like that. So a little break in the action. It looks like Buckley's fine now. Trainer came out to see him. So let's take a look here, Jim. What do you see here?
But again, you look at this swing from McFadden. Good weight transfer, the hips leading the hands. Hitting starts from the ground up. He gets good torque, and the bat quickness from the cocked position, getting to the point of contact on a pitch that was left up over the inner half, belt high, and Jacob McFadden doing exactly what he should with that pitch.
That was actually a triple for Jacob McFadden, so he gets his first triple of the season to go along with his 4 doubles and 4 home runs. And as you thought, Jim, as I did too, is I thought that was going to be a 2-run shot. And you can see right now a break in the action. I think they're talking about it, and they might be bringing Buckley in to the dugout, and I think that would be a good call. I think you could be my golf instructor talking about that hip torque.
Well, you know, you talk about hitting, and you say that jokingly, but at the same time, there is some seriousness to that because, again,
absolutely.
just like in golf, as you know, you do get torque with that swing, and it's from the ground up.
That's what my golf coach tells me.
And I don't know much about golf, but I can tell you, hitting-wise, it starts from the ground up as you're looking at another angle here of the outfielders colliding. Right there, to me, the center fielder needs to take charge, and he needs to be able to let the left fielder know, in this case, Buckley, hey, get out of my way, peel off. I'm going to try to get to this baseball. Because the center fielder in this case, the best athlete on the field, he is the fastest guy. Buckley's fast, but he's not as fast as the center fielder, so he needs to peel off and get out of the way and avoid the collision and at least give him a chance to try to make that catch.
Well, and I agree with you right there, because center field supersedes all territory. But the way they both kind of you could tell right there, the body language, nobody was talking anybody off.
You know, we talked earlier about how wide this outfield is, but when you see how it plays, as you did right there, these outfielders, there's so much room and so much ground for guys to cover that they think, and sometimes overcompensate, hey, I need to get to this baseball, or hey, I need to get over to this spot and try to get the ball, when in reality, they're angling to the same spot, and there's a chance that they may collide.
Well, looks like number 6 is going to take the place of Buckley. That's Jersey Cecilia, freshman outfielder. And that was the right call to get Buckley out of the game, because he just looked like, you know, these days with concussion protocol, it's very, very important to make sure that you don't take any chances.
See how big the outfield is. Look how the outfielders are angling.
Yeah.
They're just on a wind sprint running, trying to cover as much ground as they can. Meanwhile, they're so fast, both of them, that they meet up, and that's when the collision happened.
So here we go, bottom of the 7th. After a triple by Jacob McFadden, a little bit of injury stoppage on the field. The shaken up player again was the left fielder, James Buckley, which had a great game at the plate for the Panthers, has been pulled in lieu of number 6, Jersey Cecilia, freshman outfielder. So all the defensive lineups have been changed back to baseball. Jacob McFadden at third base, and that brings to the plate Sammy Duran. But no, as you said right there, Jacob McFadden, with your hip movement, it's the same. It's same as golf. All the power starts from low. Once you clear those hips, that's when all the inertia can happen. And that's why Jacob McFadden right there, I knew he was due for something, because a good player like him, and you've seen a lot of players, ebbs and flows, that's how they get off the schneid.
Exactly, and you want the ebbs to be, in this case, in conference play. You don't want the flow to certainly be in conference play. So with Jacob McFadden hitting well, he's a guy who's going to really contribute in conference play.
How about Sammy Duran just completely chucks his bat toward the dugout, not like a soft toss, but he chucks it all the way in there, and the ump didn't like that so much, so he calls a strike. You get back here. 3-1 count makes it full count.
And you don't want to show up the umpire like that, especially in a game like this, down 11-3. And when you show up an umpire like that, down 11-3, you're not going to get many calls if you're a hitter. Certainly if you're a hitter, and also it will maybe affect your pitching staff as well.
So Sammy Duran faces a full count, bottom of the 7th, 11-3. Now your count in favor of Palm Beach State. Now he finally gets to chuck it in style. Makes it to first base on a walk. First and third, 1 out. Next up is going to be Ian Lyle. This will be his 4th plate appearance this evening for Ian. Tell you what, this is baseball. I tell you, you got relief pitchers in at the collegiate level. And Jim, I'm one of those guys, anything can happen.
Well, one at a time.
One at a time. And just like that, a double play for the Panthers. Jacob McFadden gets his first triple of the year. Titans add a run, but they trail by 8 runs, 11-3. And I'm Eric Kohler alongside my colleague Jim Tarabokia. And let's take a look at what just happened right there on that double play. Sammy Duran.
A good job on the short hop. Sometimes as an infielder you get handcuffed a little bit. Good flip and a good turn.
It's a good double play right
that
there.
Double play.
I like the play by the shortstop too. Just kind of caught it and flipped it.
Yeah, and again, it all started with that short hop right there. Sometimes an infielder gets handcuffed, tries to do too much with it. And sometimes infielders like to pull back and play the high hop and the bounding ball and collect it in that way. But good aggressive play, good job on the short hop, good flip, and a very good double play. Things going right for the Panthers, clicking on all cylinders here this evening.
So what's the message so far from your seeing this game in terms of Palm Beach State? Obviously we can see that it was an evenly matched game, as we talked about in our open, that both teams are explosive to their own right. Next time you face these guys, what kind of adjustments are going to be made?
Well, I really believe that you focus on that once the game comes around. I think it's really tough to say, hey, let's make this adjustment here, or let's make this adjustment here. I think you give a lot of credit to Gio Ariara, tonight's starter for the Panthers, who really set the tone with this one. I mean, he had that one bad inning where he gave up that run in the 3rd inning, but after that he settled down, and if he got into any more jams, he seemed to wiggle his way out. So they really worked off, the Panthers did, Gio tonight and his performance on the mound. And from the onset, he was very, very good, and I think you give a lot of credit to him, and then you combine the fact with how well offensively the Panthers have done tonight, spraying the baseball around. So when you look at it for Eastern Florida State College on their side of things, what can you really say? What kind of adjustments can you really make? It's just the fact that sometimes in baseball during a long season you're going to have games like this where you're on the wrong side and then you're on the right side. And unfortunately for the Titans, they're on the wrong side of this one tonight.
Yeah, you know, there's so many different reactions and consequences within a baseball game. And just imagine that Jacob McFadden having that triple as a big shot to the corner. Another play at the corner is number 9, Spinner-Weber. And he makes a hot shot out for out number 1 in the top of the 8th. But just looking back, can you imagine that triple for Jacob McFadden back in the 3rd when there was base load situation? I mean, you always look back to what ifs, what it cans, and all that good jazz. But look at this. Take a look at this. That's why they call it a hot corner. Kind of got a bad feed right there. We'll go back to the truck. 1 out here, top of the 8th.
You know, Matt Morales tonight led off the ball game for the Panthers with a single. It was a seeing eye single, right back up the middle. But ever since then, I can't remember a hit by the Panthers tonight that hasn't been hard. And even the outs with that last line drive out right there, everything off the bats of the Panthers tonight have been hard.
This is the first plate appearance for number 9, Ramon Machado. Kind of a wild throw to first, but Owens is there to make the plate. Out number 2. Quick work so far for number 30 of your Titans on the mound. That brings up Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky gets to the plate for the 5th time this evening as we are on the top of the 8th inning. Thanks for joining us. WEFS-TV, streaming live.
And again, to my point from the onset, not only was it the pitching, but it was the offense as well tonight for the Panthers.
It's one of the combinations, as many games that we've covered. You can see it just can change from day in to day out. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Panthers lead your Titans 11-3. Again, it'll be a short turnaround time, as it always is when you start getting your conference season. Coach Tam's squad will have tomorrow off, and they'll be back under the lights here. Another televised game, first pitch set for 6 p.m. right here on WEFS-TV. And we'll come to you live from beautiful Bruce Bochy Field as the Titans will play host conference play. Broward College comes to town this Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Late break on that slider. Good pitch, just missed off the outside corner. Cordy has to do a better job of framing that pitch.
3-1. Hit to short, and there it is. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And a good inning of work for number 30, Tanner Leventer, to get out as 3 up, 3 down. So if the score holds here, what is your message for Coach Tam when you go into your off day here? So we're taking a look from the truck here.
I see this ground ball roller to short. Job by Navarro, replacing the feet. Collects it in, he steadies himself. Nice accurate throw over to first base. To answer your question, Eric, I don't really think you talk about this one. I mean, it's an off day tomorrow, so I think it's an off day. And you move along to Thursday's game and get ready for that one, because again, here we are in conference play. It's a grind. This is the time when you need to win ball games and forget about a bad loss. Good job here by Navarro once again. Good short arm over to first base. That short C, as scouts like to call it. Baseball people, whatever you prefer, like to call it. That short C in the infield. Getting a nice accurate throw over to first base. But you know, with Eastern Florida State College, we've got guys who tonight can come into the game, get some work just in case they are needed. In case of an injury, we've seen it tonight already with Acevedo, unfortunately, on his end of things. So here's an opportunity now for Eastern Florida State College to get some opportunities.
Scarlett Perez is up in the bullpen, number 31, back up there out of Dominican Republic. But you're exactly right. I mean, you basically take that day off and move forward because you have another opportunity against Broward College.
Exactly.
You know,
you're exactly right.
And that's the biggest thing. So bottom of the 8th inning.
And this is a really good conference. That's why you can't really harp on these losses. And they're too good of a team to harp on these losses.
No.
You sometimes have some of these, but baseball works itself out throughout the year, and I completely believe that Eastern Florida State College will be okay.
Dylan Owens at the plate in the bottom of the 8th. You know, to your point right there earlier, you know, I like that range. We did a couple replays for the 3rd out there in the top of the 8th against the Panthers, but the fact is I really like the target of Dylan Owens, which is at the plate right now as he swings and misses. The range of 6'2" at first base. It looks like, you know, you can get away from some imperfect throws because he's there. He's got that long feature to haul it in. And that's a good defensive play there for Dylan Owens, but he just can't get it going at the plate as he strikes out. Out number 1 here, bottom of the 8th.
You know, to your point, Eric, when I was in college, I remember I asked my head coach, I said, hey, could I get some time at first base? And I got laughed at. And I didn't understand why at the time, but you really start to see why first basemen have to be bigger when you get to higher levels. You're exactly right. Having that range, that big target over there at first base, it helps any infielder. Good point by you.
I mean, it's just really, you got to have a big monster over there that basically can get away with some of those throws. There's Kyle Edler right here. And he takes ball 2. 2-0 here. It's been actually a beautiful evening for baseball. It hasn't gone the way of the Titans in terms of on the field. But again, tomorrow marks March the 1st. Just like that, we've already burned through 2 months in 2017. But as Jim said, though, Titans of Coach Tam, they're going to be okay. You have nights like this. You just got to bounce back. That's the biggest thing. Edler gets placed on balls. first base, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. That brings to the plate Anthony Martinez, which is now playing defensively as catcher for the Titans.
23, Anthony Martinez.
See what Martinez can do with the bat here. But Jim, it's really been enjoyable work with you. I like the insides of all the stuff. Again, I wish we could get one of these press box cams to really see you work some of the technique.
Well, I'm glad I could also get a golf reference in there for you as well.
You sounded like my golf coach. He's like, Eric, you just got to get behind it and just swing your hips.
That's right.
You thought I was having fun with you, but I was telling you the truth, my man.
Well, like we talked about, hitting starts from the ground up, just like I assume golf is the same way.
That's like football too. Good tackling, good blocking. All starts slow. You got to create leverage.
You're exactly right. Everything in baseball starts with the feet. Catchers, to make a good accurate throw down to second, to have a good pop time, you need to have good quick feet and replace the feet behind the plate. Same thing with infielders. You need to have quick feet in the outfield. Not as much maybe speed per se, but you need to run good angles to the baseball, have quick feet. And in hitting, it's the same thing. It starts from the ground up, getting that good torque and that separation.
Kyle Edler gets thrown out at second base. And a good throw down there by number 4. Drexler at Makaya. Yeah, let me see Edler right there. Tries to get to second. What do you see here, Jim?
Watch the replacement of the feet. Boom, right there.
Oh, good throw.
And a good accurate throw, good transfer too. Sometimes you'll see young guys when they're catchers.
And Martinez grounds out. That'll be the 3rd out. That'll get us out of the 8. Finish your point there. That was a really good defensively play. Bang, bang, and a great tag, too, by Matt Morales. Obviously, you could see the great throw behind the dish was number 4 for Drexler Makaya. But then the tag equally put Matt Morales was beautiful defensive play.
And it was a great throw.
Yeah.
And, again, replacing of the feet. But sometimes, as I was saying, you see with young catchers, sometimes what they'll do is they'll catch the baseball, but then they'll make somewhat of a C motion, somewhat of a half circle motion when they're trying to transfer the ball to their throwing hand. When in reality, what you should be doing is you catch the baseball, you turn the glove back towards you, so then it's easier to transfer the baseball to your hand, because that's when the ball, and with its momentum of going into the glove, comes out of the glove and right into your throwing hand. You get a good grip and you zip it down to second base.
You want to minimize the motion. As you're going to see a shot there, Scarlin Perez, number 31. A young player, a freshman out of the Dominican Republic, comes in relief in the 9th inning. But it's a great point there, is that you want to minimize that motion of set your target, turn, and throw. The more you're
exactly right.
You do all this stuff here, you can't do anything.
And that's exactly where a good pop time comes in. Yes, you need to have a strong arm, but not always. Sometimes it's the transfer of the baseball from the glove. And it's the same thing. I remember Tony Gwynn way back in the day, as we look at the replay of this final out, chopping baseball to short. Tony Gwynn back in the day didn't have the strongest arm in right field, but he was playing right field. Being that as it may, he ended up working on his arm strength, but knew what his limitations were. So to alleviate that, he would shorten down his throwing motion as best as he could. And it's the same thing sometimes with catchers. You never, ever, ever want to have a long motion getting the ball out of the glove to your throwing hand.
Yeah, that was a good bang-bang play defensively. And like you said, is for our young viewers out there that are aspiring to be a shortstop or a catcher, there's a good shot of Ian right there. Obviously, his foot is up, and you can see his ankle is wrapped. So it is positive in terms of it's not a knee injury to this point, obviously. I don't know if that's, well, then obviously he's hopping around. You don't want to see that, but he looks like he's in decent spirits. But that's the first time. Great job for our camera crew to capture that right there, our trainer right there doing a good job keeping him wrapped. But it was an ankle injury to this point of what we can see. And again, one of those ankle injuries just takes some time. But you hate to see that on a play that was really out of play.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the good fundamentals of the throwdown on caught stealing. Take it away, Jim.
There you go. Watch the glove. He just simply turns it towards the throwing hand, gets it on the transfer. Good accurate throw, hitting his guy in stride, his shortstop. And the tag slapped down for the out. Good throw.
Good job by our camera crew to capture that. That was a good bang play, and it just basically everything that you said verbally, you could actually just pitcher said everything right there. The way he said it, turned it, threw, and a great tag at shortstop. Top of the ninth inning, 11-3 in favor of Palm Beach State. Scarlin Perez makes his first pitching appearance for your Titans. This will be his 4th appearance on the year. He's pitched 5.1 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs given up, 11 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Doesn't sound like impressive numbers, but this young man has the size, has the talent. He just needs the reps.
You know, this is a guy, you may not remember this name. You actually may. Robert Carson, who pitched at the major league level for the Mets.
Rings a bell.
It reminds me of this guy a little bit here. Good size. The windup is kind of the same. Also a lefty as well. And a good sneaky, quick fastball.
Yeah, right there. But he's got that, when you got that height right there, like a Steven Strasburg per se, it's so long before that ball comes out, it's really to the detriment of the batter.
Oh, yeah, and he gets good extension, too. Kind of like a Randy
Johnson, exactly.
I'm really throwing out a lot of names
I
here
like your
tonight.
style, though. I like the way you match up. Good memory recall, by the way.
But he gets good arm extension, so, again, the hitter doesn't have as much time to react to what the pitch is coming. Guys like this, lefties like this, tall guys who have that extension, they're tough to hit. I don't care if you're a left-handed batter or a right-handed batter.
I agree fully right here. Top of the ninth, 2-2 count. Ball goes low and away. Full count on number 5. Center fielder that was involved in that collision that took out his teammate James Buckley. This is Joey Donju. His 5th plate appearance of the evening. And Perez high and away to center field. That should be routine, and it is. Out number 1 here in the top of the ninth. And to bring up the next batter for the Panthers. It's Palm Beach State, if it holds, will improve. They'll get their first conference win of the season. And this is their catcher that made that great defensive play on the throwdown. It's number 4, Drexler Makaya. 1 down here in the top of the ninth, 11-3 your spread in favor of the Panthers. Titans were on a 5-game win streak, and there's a big storyline right there. Ian Acevedo, a very star player, the 3rd baseman.
And it's a good thing that tomorrow's an off day. Maybe he'll get a chance to really rest, ice things up, and get an opportunity to play on Thursday.
Shortstop tries to make a play. That's when the left fielder's got to come in. The way that wind's been swirling around, ball falls in. Shortstop should never have that range to go that far out. As many times you've covered these games, that's when McFadden's got to come in, because you can clearly see the way the wind is blowing with the American flag that he needs to be waved off here. Let's take a look at this.
I'm not sure what happened with McFadden here.
Yeah.
He kind of was just standing there.
Yeah, kind of no man's land. Shortstop should never go this far out in the outfield, bottom line.
Navarro lost it right there. Right there when he was easing up and trying to switch his feet, getting twisted around. That's when you knew that he was going to have a tough play, especially looking into this dark sky. There's no excuse right there for McFadden. He has to sprint in, hustle in, call off Navarro, and catch the baseball. Yeah,
because anytime you're going backwards, no matter how talented you are, that's just not the right play. Perez has it, takes it to first. The smart play gets the force at first. So there'll be 2 down the top of the ninth.
Sometimes he gets in that Bermuda Triangle, and the shortstop has to make the play, but that was hit the shallow left. That's McFadden's ball.
Well, we were talking about earlier with the swirling winds here at Bruce Bochy Field, though. When you're coming up on the ball, you got to take that advantage. But Perez right there looks like he gets caught in his webbing, but he gets it out in time to get the second out to Dylan Owens. And that frames it out perfectly right there. Top of the ninth.
Sometimes those toppers like that with the topspin, that's when pitchers really struggle with fielding it. If it's a ground ball or a hot shot right back at them, they don't have as much trouble. But when it's a topper like that, there's so many things going on in their head at that moment when it's up in the air that time almost stops. You're thinking, all right, I got to grip the baseball. I got to catch it. I have to throw it. And as you said right there, it looked like he may have struggled just a little bit to get it out of his glove.
Well, and also with that spin, you get in there, you get that bigger mitt. The way it rolls in there, it might just kind of spin around, and once you think where it's supposed to be, it's not there.
Exactly,
and it takes a little extra second to re-grab it. There you go right there. Checking out the bullpens, number 15 for the Panthers. That's Kyle McMullen, a freshman, right-handed pitcher, has made 4 appearances. Looks like he's set to come in to finish things off in the bottom of the ninth. At the plate is number 2, top of the order for Palm Beach State. A player that you really featured at the top of the opening of this broadcast, number 2, Matt Morales. Good shot of this young man. He's got a bright future in baseball. Again, these teams will tango again 6 more times this season. Again, last year, Palm Beach State won 4 of 7. And it looks like they'll draw first blood here in 2017. High and away, high gas, Garland Perez. Evens account, 2s across the board.
Morales comes from a good baseball lineage. His father, scout for the Washington Nationals, former scout in the Brewers organization. This young man knows how to play the game of baseball. Very mature player.
Blowing away, there'll be full count here. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Runner on second. Just notate the next time these 2 teams play will be at Palm Beach State Tuesday, March the 14th. Full count, here we go. Walks him. Morales gets on base. And that was his 6th plate appearance, Jim. It's never good when you're talking the kids are getting up there at 6 times against your pitching.
Yeah, but see that hole in his pants? It's a sign right there he's played hard here tonight.
Yeah, he is.
He's another grinder. I've used that word a lot here tonight, but he's a good hitter, good leadoff hitter. He's in a good spot right now in the order. He's a fun player to watch.
Brings up Balin Sparks, number 11. A player that they did kind of a switcheroo. I was doing some research on Palm Beach State, and it looked like Balin had been their leadoff hitter. And again, shed light on again how the difference of number 1 and number 2 of why Morales is now in that number 1 spot. Here we go. Shortstop, that'll be a force to Navarro, and that'll bring the end of the top of the 9th for the Panthers. So with that being said, as we leave the bottom of the 9th, when you do that switcheroo from the leadoff to the second, what's the relevance right here with that?
Well, I think with Morales, he's a guy who can easily hit the number 2 spot, even in the number 3 spot. But he gets on base so much. His on-base percentage is very, very high. He's a guy who works the count, and when he gets on, he could easily take second with a stolen base. And Balin Sparks is a good enough hitter where he can hit him over and give the opportunity to one of the best hitters really in all the conference, and James Buckley, get up there and get a single and drive in the first run of the ball game. So when you switch the number 1 and number 2 hitters like that and have Morales in the leadoff spot, first of all, you mentioned he has 6 at-bats here tonight. You try to get him up as much as possible. And when you get a good hitter like that up as much as possible, a guy who can get on base, it leads to a lot of good things, and it's a good spot for a good table setter like Morales.
Well, it's a good problem to have if you're head coach Kyle Forbes of Palm Beach State. But good work for Jim Tarabokia. He's going to go down on the field and be ready for an on-field interview with Coach Tam to get his thoughts of whatever conclusion this game may come to. But as it sits right now, it's the bottom of the 9th, 11-3 in favor of the visiting Panthers. If it holds, the Panthers will get their first conference win, and your Titans will move to 1-1 on conference and 12-5 overall, and the Panthers would improve to 14-5 overall. Many thanks goes out to our entire crew here at WEFS-TV, under the direction of Dr. Jim Ritchie, Jeff Carr, Ryan Keel. It's wonderful to be part of this crew. And again, tonight has been great to see the unveiling of some new camera angles. It's a good shot of the dugout there. The Titans, they're going to be okay. A lot of baseball to be played. And Coach Tam, he's a winner. He's won since he's been here. He won in the major leagues. He's going to continue to win here. Obviously, you don't like to see games go like this, but you know what? That's why they play all these games. Bottom of the 9th. And 1 hit out. Navarro goes down. And again, stick around, fans. At the conclusion, our good friend Jim Tarabokia is going to be down there with an on-field interview to get the thoughts of Coach Tam. So 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Again, we're back in action here. 6 o'clock this Thursday. It'll be continued televised action. So make sure to dial us in, but notate on your dial it'll be a 6 o'clock first pitch this Thursday, the 2nd. Top of the order, Sebastian Rivera for the Titans. He's had a good game. 3 out of 4, 3 singles. You can see why he's in that leadoff spot for Coach Tam. Gets in a hole here, though. 0-2, got to protect the plate. And next up for Palm Beach State, they will have a 3-game homestand. They'll have 3 consecutive conference games. And as your hometown Titans, they're in a 5-game homestand. 4 of 5 will be conference. The lone game that will not be will be Sunday the 5th against Kalamazoo Valley Community College. 1-2 count, down on the dirt, 2-2. If you haven't had a chance to visit Bruce Bochy Field on the campus of Eastern Florida, you got to come out here and check this thing out. These new facilities are something really, until you come here to see it in person, you'll say, wow. Rivera gets his 4th hit of the night, so if there's a bright spot, it comes in the form of number 25. Good piece of hitting as he gets on base with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Next to the plate, Gavin Spineweber.
Now batting, number 9, Gavin Spineweber.
Good shot of this young man. He's got a bright future with as a freshman for the Titans. Comes by nearby Rockledge. Ball kind of goes off his shoulder. It is live. Back to Thomas, or James Reynolds, I should say. And that's out number 2. It almost looks like it hit him. I'm surprised that the John Levine didn't make a call there, but nevertheless, that gets Rivera to second base. And now it's down to 2 outs here.
Now batting, number 10, Jacob McFadden.
Jacob McFadden, fresh off his first triple of the season. See what he can do here. It'd be great to kind of go out with a little 2-banger right here. Jacob McFadden here, 1-0 count, 2 outs, and he takes the first strike. Thanks for joining us. Conference play is upon us. Again, this was a conference home opener for your Titans. Strike 2 for Jacob McFadden. Titans picked up their first conference win this past Sunday, the 26th, at Indian River. It was a good win. It was a close game. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th, but they were victorious 5-1. And a play at third with this, it was not called strike, and that was a great steal by Rivera. Wow, good heads-up play. It looked at first the umpire was going to call him out. Good bang-bang play for Rivera to get over there. McFadden tries to hustle to first. That ball gets by. Rivera will score, and McFadden will advance to second on the air. There's no quitting these Titans. And that's one quality you got to like about a team. Regardless, you can have nights like this. This is how you bounce back. Regardless of the outcome, you like to see kids keep fighting. Good hustle by McFadden. Forced him to make a throw. He didn't execute. Run scores for Rivera. 11-4 your count now in favor of Palm Beach State. Brings up Sammy Duran. Again, fans, at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast, we're going to take a short break, come back with Jim Tarabokia. He's done a nice job, color analyst tonight. Did a lot of nice, good color. He's been a lot of major league teams, and we both cover a lot of baseball, so it was really kind of cool to connect with Jim. And he'll catch up with Coach Tam and break down his thoughts of tonight's ball game. 11-4, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. McFadden at second base. Sammy Duran, your hitter. Good job by your umpires tonight. John Levine behind the home plate. Casey Sanchez at second base. A little high outside that strike zone. And that'll be 2-0 on the count. In relief is James Reynolds. A nice outing by the starting pitcher for the Panthers, Gio Arriara. And that ball is fouled out of play. Again, join us this Thursday. Continued televised action. Titans baseball as they try to break back, get that second conference win 6 p.m. first pitch right here on WEFS-TV. The Titans will play host to Broward College. 2-1 count. That was a good pitch right there. Sammy Duran lays off it. 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Words of encouragement. Sammy Duran, let's see what you got. Good hit to the gap, and it drops. Nice hitting by Sammy Duran, and Jacob McFadden punches it in for run number 5. And Coach Tam's got to like this effort and this energy. Good look by Sammy Duran. His body language says it all right there. Good piece of hitting right there.
Number 13, Ian Lyle.
Seems like that's been a popular place to hit the baseball tonight. It's between right and center. And that brings up Ian Lyle. His 5th plate appearance, I should say. So the margin's 6 now. 11-5. 2-out magic here for the Titans. Here we go. Inside ball 1 for Ian Lyle. Ian, kind of a long player, comes to us from Dunedin, Florida, the spring training home of the Toronto Blue Jays. Good base wrap, another back-to-back hit. Say it isn't so. The Titans are alive here on the bottom of the 9th. And that'll bring out a coach for the Panthers. That might be a quick hook, and it is. That'll be enough for James Reynolds. He seemed like he was in cruise control and relief of Gio. And he gives up the ball there. His night is done. And I believe that should bring in number 15, Kyle McMullen. And Kyle is next on the mound for the Panthers of Palm Beach State. Good shot of Kyle right there. Four appearances. He has 2 wins. He's had 10 innings pitched, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of .90, so this young man comes in a very good clip here. Let's check out good piece of hitting by the Titans here in the bottom of the 9th. Look at that, good extension. Right down there. Tell you what, tonight is not, nothing's left the park. The closest one we had was McFadden with his triple. And tonight's really been kind of the storyline of small ball. And a lot of action's been going out to the kind of right center field area. And so far, so good. And you can't really say it isn't so. The margin's only 6 runs right now. But we'll be streaming live again Thursday at 6 o'clock. Broward College comes to town. And just to kind of set it up, 4 straight games at home. March the 2nd, March 3rd, March 5th, and March 7th. So come on out here and support the Titans on this beautiful baseball diamond known as Bruce Bochy Field. All right, let's reset it. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. First baseman Dylan Owens at the plate. He's got ducks on the pond at first and second. Can the Titans pull out a rabbit out of the hat? Let's find out right now. Big cut, but goes high. And that's waved off by the right fielder, and that is the end of the game. Palm Beach State comes into town, gets their first conference win, knocks off the hometown Titans. Final score is 11-5. Stick around, fans. We'll come back with post-game interview. You listen to Eric Kohler and Jim Tarabokia right here on WEFS-TV. Stay right there.
Join us for a backyard barbecue cook-off and family fest on Saturday, March 11th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Melbourne campus of Eastern Florida State College. Sponsored by the EFSC Alumni Association, you can sample food from teams of amateur cooks competing for cash prizes, trophies, and bragging rights. Plus, enjoy lunch included with your admission from Meemaw's Barbecue, bluegrass music by Penny Creek Band, a kids zone, and more. The first 100 advance tickets sold will be entered into a drawing for a gas barbecue grill donated by Home Depot, so don't delay. For more information and tickets, contact the Alumni Association at 321-433-7053 or at the web address on your screen. The proceeds of this event will benefit the EFSC Athletic Booster Club.
Hey fans, welcome back to WEFS-TV live from Bruce Poche Field. Let's get down on the field and Coach Tam, we've got Jim Tarabokia. What do you got, buddy?
Eric, thank you very much, Coach. Lopsided loss. Good effort tonight by the team. How do you guys rebound with your off day tomorrow and then the game again on Thursday?
Well, we'll take it pretty easy tomorrow. We'll obviously hit. We need to work on our defense. That's a fact. But we need to sit down and we need to have a talk. These moments are going to happen all the time as far as big games. Every game we play is a big game, and if you give a great team like Palm Beach, extra outs and you work behind in the count as a pitching staff, unfortunately that's going to be the end result more times than not.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Back up to you.
Nice job that Coach Tam and Jim Tarabokia did a nice job tonight getting his thoughts of Coach Tam. But let's look at some highlights of tonight's action. You can see right here, Palm Beach State gets started early, gets a couple hits. They get started early in that first inning, and they really kind of set the tone. But a good throw out there, but it was a little too late. And then again, another RPI. Look at this shot right here, deep in the field. Palm Beach State really is an explosive team. Again, it's going to be good to play these guys again. And Coach Tam said, hey, you run up against a good team, this is what's going to happen. Another hit. Look at this. Couldn't place it better right here. Jacob McFadden couldn't do anything. You couldn't have placed the ball better. 2 RBI score. That was a big swing right there in the third. But check it out. EFSC, your Titans. They fight back. Great shot. Opposite way. Titans are trying to make something happen here. And another play right there to advance the runner. Titans in business right here. But there we go. To no avail. And this was a scary moment of the game right there. Star player Ian Acevedo rolls his ankle going for a loose ball and a foul ball. And luckily he's going to be okay. But here we go. Titans trying to make some plays. They keep fighting back, but they just could not cash in on the opportunities. And Palm Beach State, they just found spots, creases of the defense, just found ways to keep getting runners to cross the plate. Now check this out. This is a good play. Jacob McFadden, one of the power brokers of your Titans, gets his first triple of the season. And they keep fighting back. The last triple. And the only triple, and he scores. Look at the hustle. Nice job by McFadden. But here we go. Ian Lyle. The double play. And there you have it. Again, the Titans try to fight back. It just simply wasn't their night. 11-5 is your score. And Jim, I tell you what, in a couple seconds we have, there was just a tough loss. But Coach Tam pretty much summed it up.
Well, yeah, he said it. Play better, rather pitch better, hit better, feel better. A good effort tonight. Off day tomorrow. A chance for this team to rebound for Thursday.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it's a big thing. You had all these replays that are pretty good to show there's all these extra plays, but they keep fighting back. You can see right here, they keep fighting. And there it is, the Titans. But the last thing is 11-5, your final Palm Beach State. And I tell you what, on behalf of our entire crew, WEFS-TV, make sure to join us this Thursday as we'll be back in action here, 6 o'clock against Broward College. I tell you, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Jim Tarabokia for Eric Kohler saying so long from Bruce Bochy Field. Good night, everybody. Panthers 11, Titans 5.
We now join our programming in progress.